But yeah, so we briefly covered, how you're feeling post Texas. You did 4 shows this year, and now you're heading into the off season. Um, what is how are you feeling with your mindset coming into this off season? You mentioned the last time you're on potentially next year be your last season. So,
Yeah.
how are you feeling coming out of this season, coming into off season? That's a lot of seasons. I need to use a different word, but how are you feeling, man?
A little disappointed, honestly. I mean, this was a rough one for me this year, coming off of last year.
Mhm.
Um, you know, the critiques I take, and then I bring the critiques that I take into the next show, and then the placing's worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
definitely
Boston.
noticed that this year. Yeah.
Yeah, Boston. Okay, regardless of the lineup, it was still top level competitors. Olympian, Arnold, people coming from the Arnold, and I took 6 off. And this is what I was like explaining to the judges as I was going through the season, because they kept giving me the same excuse. Oh man, it was a tough show. It's really close. It was a tough show. It's a tough show. Okay, well, I mean, by telling me that, you're telling me I don't pan up to a tough show
Right.
and that's not true. You know what I mean? But I just don't think I ever get a logical, true answer. So after Boston, of course, now I played with things. After Boston, I came into Orlando,
Yeah.
and of course, I was flat in the morning. So that was what I was told. And I came back so much better at night. So we were
Mhm.
like, we have to make sure we come in full in the morning, because I mean that's when they say they're going to do the rejudging at night. Be honest, I don't think much changed, because if you look at the scorecards, they never change at night. And
Yeah.
some people do come in better at night, right? Especially me.
Yep.
I always come in better at night. So we did Tampa, and I came in peeled at Tampa. But once again, I didn't think I was super flat, but they said I was flat. When I came back to the night show, they were like, one of the judges said, that's what we need to see. He said, your muscles are bursting through your skin. Everything is pulled tightly.
Mhm.
So, and that's what they called flat at prejudge.
Crazy.
So, I mean, I don't know. So I came in much fuller at the night show, and they said, that's what we want to see. So then me and my coach, we talked. We said, okay, well, we're going to come in over full
Mhm.
at Texas. And we did. We put on 14 pounds in 6 days,
Yeah.
and we came in nice and full, legs, quads, everything was big. And I got eighth. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's a little
Yeah.
frustrating.
I was really surprised with that eighth place finish in Texas. Uh, I look at you as being someone who can battle it with Ian and Steve, and then
Yeah.
they put you all the way to eighth. It's
Yeah, a lot
I
of
don't know.
people did, honestly, in the crowd that I spoke to, people that has been, they were at Tampa, and they were at Texas last year, and then they were at Texas this year. And they
Mm.
said that look I brought at Texas was ridiculous, because, they said, yeah, you were on at Tampa, but you were super full at Texas. And they were like, you nailed it, for Texas. And so many people was telling me, great job, man, much improved, even on social media. But it's just hard to juggle what the judges. I mean, every judge have a different look that they're looking for that show. It's
Oh yeah.
not really consistent, and that's the thing that's bothering me. The judging is not consistent,
Mm.
but we got a game plan, a really, really good game plan, a really good off season we're going to take,
Good.
and come in better
Better.
and
Yeah.
see what happens. So.
Yeah. And we'll see where you land. What
Because you
shows
got
you
to look
do.
at it too. From my age, I've
Yeah.
gotten bigger each year. But I
Right.
have to be careful, because I'm not really trying to be a big. I have a genetics, honestly, and it's not being considered anything. I have a genetics where if I want to put on crazy size, I can, because I'm still growing at my age. I'm not going the other direction. But
Mm.
I try to minimize the gains that I feel is safe enough to compete at an elite level. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And they're telling me in some form, in some way, that it's not. They're looking for these big mass monsters. Now they're looking for the tall guys. Before,
Mm.
you know what got me a couple of years? I think it was last year and the year before. It was the massive shorter guys. Now they're looking for the massive, taller guys. And this is where I said it's coming confusing to really understand and be able to fix things on the off season. So we're going to come in. I told my wife, I said, if next year is my last year, I'm going all out. So we'll see what I bring on stage next year, size wise.
Okay. Tyler, welcome. Looks like you got a fresh haircut.
Yeah, I did. Thanks for hosting.
So yeah, that looks real nice.
Yeah, man.
Nice fade in.
Oh yeah, you faded right into the beard. Oh, I'm jealous. I have my landscape. This is what I get to work with. So
that's all right. It's looking classic now.
Yeah, it's I got to trim it. It's starting to kind of go into the mouth, but
yeah, you can't do that. Can't let it curl over.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get it really, really full. Then maybe I'll dye it something ridiculous.
Oh, nice.
Just look like a clown. Tyler, we haven't had you on in it feels like a while, man. What have you been up to? Yeah, what have you been up to?
I'll be honest, man. Like not that much. Like I know it seems like I've been crazy busy, but I'm sure Phil can attest. Like all I've been doing is just eating, sleeping, and training. To be honest, like that's all I've been doing. I haven't been doing anything else. I did though. I think I wasn't sponsored last time I was on here, right?
No, I wanted to ask about that. Yep.
Yeah, so I did get sponsored by Believe Supplements.
Yep.
I had a few offers. Sorry.
Congratulations.
Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, I had a few offers like at the time. Thankfully, I appreciate even anyone. HT was one of them actually. Yeah, I just felt like Believe was like the best choice at the time. So yeah, that's pretty much like the only crazy thing that's happened. I've been coaching a lot too. So I've had a lot of athletes competing in the past like few weeks and then taking on new clients for the next couple months, dude. Like September, October, and November are just straight shows. And then the Olympia. So it's kind of like just nonstop bodybuilding up until then.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any local shows you're going to be doing with your guys and gals?
Yeah, I mean, there's CPA shows here. We have a few regional shows coming up, but we have the Canadian Nationals coming up as well. I think in like 7 weeks.
Okay.
So I have a couple doing that. I have a bikini girl. We have to do a regional show beforehand just to get qualified, but like she'll 100% get qualified. And then then I have a classic guy for the nationals as well. So pretty much that, and then it's just like regional shows from then on, like bikini, wellness, men's physique, I think, and then classic, I think, as well.
Okay, nice. You have you been having your eye on any upcoming pro shows?
Like for myself or just watching?
Just watching.
No, dude. I'm gonna be honest, man, and like this isn't like a knock on anything, but like you guys have bought the pay-per-views before, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like what, $50 usually, $50-$60, like give or take.
Yeah, maybe Canadian. Or no, maybe US.
Yeah. So like 50 US, so it's like $80 Canadian. And there's just nothing to it, man. It's just like a static camera. There's no commentating. There's no like interviews. There's no nothing. And no, like whatever, man. I love watching the shows, dude. I love being up to date. But like if it comes down to it's a Saturday evening or whatever, and it comes down to a bodybuilding show for $60 or a UFC event for like, $70, I'm probably gonna go with the UFC event. To be honest. But yeah, I mean I'll be honest, I haven't really been keeping up. And the other thing is there's too many shows, so I don't really know which show to like watch or keep up with or whatever, It's like there's just 4 shows every weekend, so it's kind of hard. Even if you want to keep up, it's kind of hard to.
Yeah. No, I think when Paul Lazan was on, we were talking about like how there's just so many shows in one weekend. From a commentator's point of view, like or whatever YouTuber, it's really difficult to get all those shows covered.
But the other thing is like I don't know what shows are going on.
Yeah,
like I'm pretty up to date on Instagram. Like I'm not like crazy lurking things, but like I'm pretty up to date, man. And like you would think a pro show with pro athletes would get a little bit of like marketing, Like I think Texas actually did a pretty good job. I think Texas always does a really good job with how they run their show. The lighting is phenomenal. The live stream phenomenal. They do a really good job. But other than that, it's like I don't think we should be having these one-off shows. like where we have one show that's like, holy shit, Texas is like the best show ever.
Yep.
And then we have like 30 other pro shows that just go completely under the radar, you know? Like, I just think, I'll be honest, dude, I don't know what shows are coming up, to be completely honest with you. So other than just the main shows, you know, like the Arnold UK or whatever.
Yeah, Arnold UK, you know, it's like 6 weeks out. So let's unwrap that. So Phil was at the Tampa and the Texas, and Orlando. Which one had Chris Cormier?
Boston too.
In
Boston. Yeah, Boston had they did a really good job. They over advertised. They did a really good job.
Didn't they have like Phil in there or something?
Yeah. Phil Heath did the commentating there.
Yeah. Yeah, they did amazing.
Like, listen, you don't need Phil Heath, but just having commentators, like, because listen, like, a lot of these athletes have their friends and family watching the show, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of the friends and family aren't huge bodybuilding enthusiasts. They're just friends and family of the competitor. And I think the league, the promoters, whatever, they kind of need to look at that perspective as well if you want to grab those viewers as well. Like, it seems like kind of what we're doing is just appeasing the hardcore bodybuilding fans, which is fine. It's you know, I can still watch the show and understand what's going on, but my parents can't, or my friends can't. Right. You know what I mean? So I think having that commentating was a really big deal. They gave away a car, which, you know, not every show needs to give away a car, but like the fact that they went above and beyond for that, for the athletes, for the audience, for the fans at home, for everyone involved, man, I think it says a lot. And like, listen, if I have the opportunity, I'm probably going to go to Boston because like, that was an insane production. And if I'm doing a show, like I did Florida, I did Hurricane Pro and I did Toronto Pro, and there was zero media, zero, even after the fact, dude. I think I was mentioned like maybe 1.5 times. Like,
like you know maybe I mean? Muscle Insider, and that's it.
Muscle Insider, and that's because they're local. So if Muscle Insider wasn't local, we wouldn't have had any. Oh, and that's a pretty big show, man. Like it used to be anyway, Toronto Pro. Like that's the Canadian show. Like that's the one show in Canada that we've always had. It's always been a relatively big show. When we had the Expo, the Super Show. Since COVID and everything, it's kind of been a little bit downsized. But I was a little bit surprised that there wasn't really like, you know, anything to do with it. But then Boston was like lights out, dude. Like,
yeah, Boston and the pre-Boston marketing was phenomenal. What they did with Phil's headshot, the announcing of saying he's going to be there. Like, I'm so shocked that other shows didn't kind of pick up that ball and run with it this year. It was such a good standard that they set so early in the season. The live stream was good too. I think they had like Fit Spectrum or something did the live stream. And, you know, I'm not a huge fan of them moving the camera in and out and zooming, but it's something, you know, at least it was high quality.
I don't like that either. Like at the Olympia, whenever they do that, but I'm not like, I don't know. I don't really want to see it when they're getting compared.
Yep.
I'd rather see it if they're like individual.
Absolutely. You know, because like, you want to get the full shot. You want to be able to see everyone because that's what it's for. It's for comparing. Yeah,
the whole point is to compare. Like that's the whole sport. The entire sport is comparing other bodies to other bodies. So it is a little bit difficult when they like, and you're looking at like the front double bicep, and it's the first call out. And you're all pumped up, and then you see like Phil Heath's leg, and you're like, "Fuck, man!" Like, missing the whole call out now, you know. Like, but I'm not going to shit on them though, because you're right. They're doing something to create more than just a static shot, which I appreciate. Like, I'm not like, again, it's just like, you know, one of those things. Like, there's not really much more they can do, you know.
Well, you know, Boston, what I noticed with them is they really, really show appreciation to the pros. Because, you know, I had a conversation with an individual, and they wanted the prize money to be $250,000. You know what I mean? And they were shut down, probably because it would have been somewhat of an embarrassment for all the other promoters, you know, because it's hard to, you know, step up like that and then, you know, for other promoters to follow suit. But you know what? I think we're at a time now where, you know, we're pros. So I think as pros, or believe that we should be regarded as such. So I think that we should, one, get paid more. Two, the advertisement should be much better, not just, you know what I mean, nothing against the promoters, they do a great job, but to not just worry about themselves, but also push these athletes. And that's what's going to draw, the different people that's not bodybuilders, like, excitement, like Tampa. When I got on stage and, the intro with the guy from the 300, where you're not entertained, the crowd went nuts. You know what I mean? So, and there's people out, not every person out there are bodybuilding fans. Either they come with a friend that's a bodybuilder, but you want to entertain and charge that crowd up, and they can say, wow, what I mean? That was electrifying. It wasn't boring, it was electrifying. So Boston, I think, is going to step up bigger next year. I have a feeling they're going to step up bigger, and they're going to make it much more difficult for other shows to keep up with. I think the only show that might be able to keep up with them is going to be Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with all the shows, like to say they can't do 250 grand, it's like, dude, 250 grand, was it for the winner or total?
It was I think it was a total for the whole class.
Bodybuilding.
No, I'm sorry. My wife said it was for the winner. It was going to be for the winner. And that's why they threw the truck in, because the truck wasn't in there at first.
Right.
And then they threw the watch in. So when they were shut down about the money, they said, okay, well, we'll start putting this prize in and this prize. They were smart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, the 250,000 was going to be for the winner. And that's big.
They wouldn't have said no to Dwayne Johnson doing a prize purse like that at his FitCon, right?
Might have capped him at 100, though.
You think so?
Because, dude, the reason I asked is because all these other shows, and like I see it all the time, man. I don't even know what shows. I don't want to call anyone out, but it'll be like X show, and they'll be like $45,000 in total prize money, total. And there's like 6 classes. I'm like, dude, why would anyone want to do that show? I'm sorry, like, but dude, I don't want to travel, spend $4,000 on this whole show experience to get paid $3,000. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You're right, dude. We're pro athletes, and like, I'll be honest, man. Like, dude, I have a sport management degree, so like, I come from this background. I come from the background of like niche sports as well, and like understanding how to grow niche sports, and that includes investing in yourself, and like that's sort of where I'm at with not buying the pay-per-views. I absolutely want to support the sport, but by buying the pay-per-views, it doesn't really support the athletes. But I would, you know what I mean? Like, what I would suggest is doing a code. I actually messaged Fuad about this, but having like a code. So like code Tyler, you get 10% off your live stream purchase, and then I get that profit, like whatever the percentage is. But like, I don't know why athletes aren't get it. Like, why we're not doing that. Like, I just feel like we're super, super behind. And like you watch, like I watch UFC a lot. I don't know if you guys do, but like watching them grow over the years, like there was always like this like progression of going upwards. You know what I mean? Like even if it was slow, they had a little bit of money at the time, but they utilized their money, right? And now you just see bodybuilding like kind of stagnant, and because it's stagnant, it kind of starts to diminish too, right? And we're in the social media age. This should be the most. I think it's the most popular it's ever been. To be fair, like you have all the other classes, and fitness is becoming more mainstream. But while fitness is becoming more mainstream, we're not capitalizing on making bodybuilding more mainstream. I'm not saying it's going to be completely mainstream, but like, you know, men's physique and classic physique are extremely appealing to the general public. Same with bikini, same with maybe wellness or fitness or whatever, but they're a little bit more like relatable. So it's not just crazy open bodybuilding, like where the general public may not be able to relate to it as much. I feel like we have all these classes to hit everybody now. So I feel like this is the time to make it as mainstream as we possibly can.
Yeah. Phil, you were at, obviously you were at Boston. They did a code, right? Where it's like discount code Phil.
Yeah.
And did that give you a percentage from the live stream at all?
Absolutely not.
I was about to be like, they did it right.
Absolutely. I mean, that was a great idea.
Oh man.
No.
Okay. I don't know if I'll have to edit this out, but I know I was talking with Corey for the Vancouver Pro, and he's a promoter out of Canada. He is going to be doing a 10% code for all the athletes competing, and it's going to be, I think he said the live stream, it's going to be 10% commission to any athlete that promotes their code. But what I'm wondering is if he's going to do it for in-person ticket sales. If someone says, hey, discount code Phil, you know, Like, I'm wondering if that would work in person as well.
Oh man, if they did that, I would have made some money at Tampa.
Yeah, yeah.
Phil sent me. Tell him Phil sent you.
There's always money to be made, man, and that's how I see it too. Like, you know, I've talked about a million times with the media. Like, why do we not have 20 photographers at the show, picking up cash from the athletes, picking up cash or giving cash to the promoter? Mm-hmm. Like, there's always money to be made, man. Sponsorships. Like, I just saw a post from like, you know, even like the UFC. I'll just give an example. Like Francis Ngannou was like, you know, we missed out on sponsorship opportunities because we have a crypto sponsor. Okay. So he wasn't able to get sponsored by another different crypto company because the UFC has a monopoly over it. Yep. And that's kind of how I feel with like the IFBB. Like, we're kind of missing out on sponsorship opportunities. I feel like obviously we do our own thing, but you know, utilizing the marketing tools and utilizing like the live streams and like, dude, the live streams have like, you could put sponsorship ads that whole time. The show's like 5-6 hours. Yeah. Like every half hour, you have a little commercial of a new sponsor that pays to have their ad space, right?
I think it was, Tyler. I think it was, man, I think I've watched almost all of the live streams this year. I think it was either Texas or Tampa. They had it. Tampa's the Wings of Strength one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was that one. They would roll Wings of Strength, like posing outfit ads and different types of ads, kind of like B-roll footage in the backgrounds, like during transitions and stuff. Yeah. So they did it right. Boston definitely did it right because they had the multi-camera where they could cut it from commentator to the stage to. I love that. Like, and I think they even had an interview camera too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, that's not like over the top. They're not like,
this should be basic.
Really,
yeah, that's just like basic. That's every sport does that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just feel like we're really behind, and I just think it's a time to you know, maybe shorten some of the shows. Like, maybe let's say there's 60 shows. It's like, why don't you do 40 shows, and then those 20 that get cut, pool all their cash. Yeah. And now you have shows that are giving out 100, 150, 200K instead of 40. Like, I'll be honest, dude, if I was like, I just wouldn't put that show on. If there's $40,000, $50,000 for the whole show, I'd be like, yeah, we're not having a show, man. Because like, that's not what pro athletes get paid.
Yeah.
I think we need a representative, a really good representative for the bodybuilders. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine's. I mean, he's not a bodybuilder, but he's in business. Yeah. And he was saying, he said, how come you guys don't have like a rep? You know, because, you know, let's say if the prize money hasn't changed in 20 years, you know, the rep can influence the prize money to go up, or athletes won't compete. Athletes still compete, promoters can't make money. You know what I'm saying? Right. I mean, it's like that in any sport. You know what I'm saying? It could be football, baseball, whatever the case may be. I think that we should have somebody that represents a good person that represents bodybuilding and push for the right things so we can. I mean, we're at an opportunity with this sport, the IFBB, the NPC, to just. I mean, they're already blown up the world. Flying. Nobody can compete against them. Not even the elite pros could even keep up with them. Right?
No.
So the opportunity is there to have the right person in place to look out for the bodybuilders or pro bodybuilders. Right. Where, you know, if we say, hey, you know, especially on the health standpoint with the athletes, we know we have like, you know, annual or whatever type of meeting where we all get together and talk about things that we would like to see change. You know what I'm saying? Like a committee type thing and get it done. I just don't see how they have not appoint. I guess I can understand why they have not appointed someone because it's free reign. They could do what they want. Yeah. But I just wish and believe in the future, even when I'm gone, that time do come. I think that was part of the reason why Kai walked away. Kai was pushing for the bodybuilders, not just himself, because Kai could make money not competing. He's doing it. You know what I mean? So his big thing was, okay, so if you're advertising me at the Olympia, why am I not getting a kickback from that? You get what I'm saying? You guys are making money off of advertising me and other athletes, Kai was saying. So at the end of the day, he was trying to be that one to push for the athletes, but they wouldn't break. You know what I mean? Right. So I hope in the future that happens. We could get a good ambassador to represent the bodybuilders so some things can change.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it on the last podcast, like with Paul. I think we should just have a rep for every category. I think that was a really good idea. I mean, you can do reps for per nation, per continent, per whatever. But I agree. Like, I think there should be like an annual meeting. I think the reps should bring up all of the issues that the athletes have. And yeah, there should be a point kind of where you're like, we're not competing in a show that has $40,000 total prize money for all of the athletes. Like, because the open bodybuilder has to get the most, obviously. So what are they going to get? 10, 20 grand? And then there's like, what, 10, 20 grand left for the rest of the athletes? Like, dude, like, I mean, listen, man, we're professionals at the end of the day. And like, if the IFBB wants the best professionals on their stage, they have to take care of the athletes, meaning they're compensating them financially so that I can just stay home and eat, sleep, and train.
Yeah.
I'm going to be my best bodybuilder. I'm going to be the best product to sell, the best marketing opportunities. If I'm at my best, I'm only going to be at my best if I don't have to go and work.
Right.
A lot of these guys still have to go full-time jobs. And, you know, obviously we're a lot more fortunate now. Like, I'm extremely fortunate to be a coach, to be able to work on my own time, to be able to work at home. But not everyone's that fortunate, man. And not everyone can make a good living like that. So the problem is we see guys like, you know, we're seeing like Cedric, and we see guys like Steve, who work full time. They're in the military. He's a firefighter. We see a lot of open pro guys or pros, and Sadiq, I think, has a full time job. Like,
yeah, I do. I have a full time job.
Well, like, dude, all these people are working full time jobs because the payout isn't enough where you're comfortable, you're secure, or you're even compensating for all of the bills that come with bodybuilding. You know what I mean? Like, these are things that need to be considered. And like, maybe we don't give as many pro cards if that's the case. Like, if we have to compensate for more athletes, maybe we don't give as much pro cards. Maybe we make it a little bit more exclusive, like in the UFC and the NHL. Like, these people have to be given contracts based on their where they are. Like, based on if I'm the promoter or CEO or president, I'm like, wow, this guy is fucking good. This guy's gonna make his money. Versus, like, you know, not trying to be rude, but like, dude, some of these pro cards are given out. They're like, it's like candy now. You can go to the right show and get a pro card, and you can be like 8 weeks out looking, or 2 years into your lifting career. You know what I mean? It's like, not trying to take anything away from pros, but it's a little bit watered down now. I feel.
Yeah, especially if you're willing to travel.
It's getting watered down because if you look at it back in the day, it was only the nationals. Yeah, you get your pro card, so you're getting quality pros going through the nationals, right? So when they came up with this idea, basically bodybuilding just got watered down with adding all these pro cards. Some show you could get 2 pros in one division. You get first and second, we could get a pro card, right? But in their mind is they get $250 per person signing every year for a pro card. You know how much money that is on their standpoint. So I think that was the direction they were going, because I tell myself, and I even tell my athletes that saying they want to go pro, because I tell them, I said, listen, I'll do my best to get you whatever I can get you to where I can get you. But if pro is where you're looking to go, I'm going to tell you my personal opinion. It may not be a good idea unless you're going to be the top 10 in the world. That's the only way you're going to make money. Honestly, you know what I mean? If you're not a top 10 in the world, you're not really going to make money. You're going to be giving them money more than making money. And I'm honest with my athletes. I have to be. And I always tell them, I'm not shooting you down. You know what I mean? I'm just letting you know, that if you're looking for this to be a career where this is going to be your job, man, you might want to think about it more than anything, because it's just not at that place to make it. I mean, not even me, honestly, tell you the truth, where I'm at right now, even if I had, a few other sponsors that came to me and say, okay, Phil, so you say you could be at your best if you're not working. So if we made this proposal to you to be able to focus on training and eating and sleeping, would you do it? Honestly, I won't. I wouldn't do it, because, there's a broader picture for me than bodybuilding. I love it. Don't get me wrong, or else I still will not be doing it. But I like being out and working with individuals in person and training people and watching them change. And, I had a guy I just posted on my personal business website that lost 42 pounds in 9 months. And this guy, you don't understand. He's back in his high school weight. When he came to me, he was, I call him fluffy, because that's my nice way of calling people fat.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I mean? But that's the changes that I want to see. So no, I would not change it because it makes me appreciate bodybuilding when I'm working and still be able to it gives me time management. Because when I get to the gym, I'm on a time. I got to be out of there in an hour and 15 minutes. That's just how I see it. And I get out of there. You know what I'm saying? And I've been doing that for my whole life of bodybuilding. I continue to grow. So I have to have some type of time management throughout the day to function. That's just me. But I mean, kudos to those, man, that could just train, eat, and sleep. If I was young, oh yeah, I'll jump on that all day. But you know what I mean? I'm not that young bodybuilder that has that opportunity to be able to do that.
Do you think if you were offered like 200K to not work for the year, and I'm AMI Phil, 200K, don't work for the year, but you can still get other sponsors, you can do content, you know, you can still make more money. If you got offered 200K today, would you take it? Actually, wait.
Here's the difficult part. I run my own business, so if I was to take that, I'm shutting down my business.
If you didn't have your business.
Oh, if I didn't have, oh no, yeah. If I was working a regular job and that came to me, don't get me wrong. I'm not, you know, I mean, I'm not stupid. You know, hell yeah, I'll take it.
But coaching, I find, is like, I'm not gonna say easy because I coach. It's not mentally easy by any means, but it's easy on the time management. It's easy to manage your time a little bit, as long as like no one's competing this weekend. I find it's relatively like I can schedule my whole day around it, sort of thing. I'm not like ever pressed for time. I'm not like, oh shit, I need to. For me personally, I'm like, I never need to be anywhere. You know what I mean? Everything's kind of on my time. That's what I like.
Had you had like while you're competing, you're also coaching someone at that show at the same time?
Dude,
like let's say you're at the hotel, your show is that day, and you have, like me, I was in Tampa and I had 2 amateurs. And I'm trying to type in between my tanning and get around my tanning. You know, that's difficult to do. But I know that there is coaches that's competing do run into that situation where you're doing a show and that person's doing a show the same day, and you got to still have that communication the best you can.
Twice, man. I did it. Funny enough, I won both those shows. I did at Canadian Nationals 2019. I had 4 people doing the same national show as me, different classes. I was competing literally like technically with them because I was still an amateur at the time.
Right.
And then again, at the Toronto Pro, I just won the Toronto Pro, and I had 2 amateurs. So it was a pro-am. So we had a Saturday show, which was all the amateur show, and then the Sunday show, which was all the pro show. So I had 2 guys do that Saturday show. So I was pretty much on my feet, on the go the whole day. Literally, scheduling my tan in between when they're on stage, when I have to go see them. I text my tan people like, yeah, I'll be there at like 3:30 when all my guys are done. Like I'm not leaving the venue while they're competing. It's a little bit of just like something I got to do. It's more than you usually would do on a show weekend for sure. But at the same time, dude, it keeps me busy. Because like I don't enjoy waiting around all the time. Like when we're competing, all we do is wait, dude, and we're like kind of hungry, kind of tired, kind of just like I'm like I just want to fucking get this done, dude. Like the time goes by so slowly because there's nothing to do. So when I have people competing, it kind of keeps me like not waiting all the time. I'm kind of just going with the flow, and I kind of just like, you know, keep myself busy, keep myself occupied.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm sure it helps with you know, like you said, keeping your mind busy when you're doing.
Not ideal. It's not ideal though.
No.
Like
dude, you'd much rather prefer, you know, just being able to focus on your physique on the day.
Yeah. I'd rather not look at my phone as much as I can. I'd rather not have that energy too. Like I was fortunate enough to have really good clients, especially for the Toronto show. Like there was a zero, like no one freaking out, no one like, bro, where are you? Like getting multiple texts. Like it was so smooth. I think we just had really good chemistry where I kept everyone on the right path, on the plan. Like we weren't like freaking out or anything. So I got fortunate in that case, but ideally I would not be coaching that weekend. Ideally, I would tell my clients, don't email me for like 2 days. But it's not always ideal, right? You just like at the end of the day, dude, I have a job. You're paying for a service. You're paying for me to be there. You're paying for me to do my job. And that's how I look at it at the end of the day. And, you know, I have 2 jobs. I'm a coach. I'm a bodybuilder. So I just have to do the best that I can for both.
All right. Tonio, welcome.
Always late.
Always late. But you're not driving this time though, so you're good.
Right. It's not as dangerous now.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about your safety.
I think I pulled over at a gas station that day.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
And I used their Wi-Fi.
And then that's good. Yeah. I remember like the lighting at the gas station made it look like somebody was pulling you over. I was like, oh no.
I'm sure they would understand.
Yeah. So how are you, man? We haven't talked in a couple weeks.
Oh, good. I left the West Coast, so now I'm on the East Coast, and training at Madhouse, which is in Georgia, Atlanta, which is a pretty dope gym. There's a few other pros that are there. One sporty classic physique guy, and can't think of his name, Corey, men's physique guy.
Okay.
Yeah, he just won the show in Colombia.
Oh wow, Colombia.
Didn't even know there was a show in Colombia.
Yeah, I don't think they had bodybuilding.
There's a lot of
Hey,
men.
Tonio, congratulations on your great presentation in Chicago, man. We were rooting for you, man.
Yeah.
Man, appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, you showed up, man. That was good.
Yeah,
How did you do again? Second? You got second in Chicago?
Yeah.
How many shows did you do? You did like 2 or 3?
Yeah, I think Chicago was my 4th.
And open, you just switched to open, right?
Right.
Nice, man. Good for you. Second place. Who got first in that show?
Antoine.
Oh, right. Okay. And
Yeah,
he's coming off good momentum from Vancouver too.
Yeah, we knew it was his when he did that damn leg shake he does.
Mm.
Yeah.
He did that. The head judge was like blown away. Like his whole face changed. I was like, oh, it's game over.
Yeah, you're standing there. You're like, fuck, man. I'm over here, dude.
Yeah. That's when you come back with a leg shake.
Yeah.
Right.
Or shake both legs. I don't know.
Yeah, to be able to move both legs like that takes a lot of practice. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You have to like stand on the heels or something. I don't know.
Right.
Just hold on to somebody real quick.
Trust me, I definitely went home and was like, how you do that?
How you do that?
He just does weird shit, man, all the time. Like Antoine's just such a character, dude. And I think that honestly plays a huge role in why he does very well.
Yes.
He's very entertaining, and he always like your eyes immediately go to him just because he's like moving so much. You're like, you can't not look at him, you know? And I think that like is really, really, really beneficial.
Great strategy.
Yeah.
Keep the judge's eyes on you.
You want to be
the energy he brought was crazy.
Yeah.
What was that? The energy he brings is nuts. It's different.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are up there gassed and breathing heavy. He's still just going.
Really? Wow. Yeah, online he looks like such a character. I mean, he has to be. I mean, he's always with Juji and they're always doing fun content. So I can imagine in person is the same, intoxication with his
he's full
charisma.
Of energy. He's full of energy. Because even like we hung out at Tampa and we're talking because he's at the pool party. We went briefly, and like that's just Anton, man. He's always full of energy, bro. That's natural. That's not even a show. That's just him, full of energy.
Wow. Okay. Tonio, what's the plan, man? What are you doing right now? Off season, maybe sneak into a show. Like what are you doing?
Sneak into a show.
Well, what you did? Like what 6-week prep for Cali?
Yeah.
5 weeks. Okay. So 6 weeks. I'm just saying, like, he could find something. He could end up in Italy in 4 weeks and be like, "What's up? What's up?"
We talked about it. I'm gonna do a Legion Sports Fest.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. It's back home in Reno, so can't miss that. Repeat. Yeah. And I don't think Sean Clarita and Reagan will be doing it again.
Yep.
So
and now you have a whole year of open under your belt. So that's got to be something.
Oh yeah, definitely put on a lot more size than coming out of 212 right away.
Yeah. Okay, that's exciting. How far out is that's in Reno, right?
Yeah, I believe it's 6 weeks.
Oh man. Okay, so we're gonna have the Yamamoto Pro Cup in Italy, which I don't think anyone's coming back to defend that one. I don't think Nathan Diash is going. I haven't seen the scorecard for that one yet. We still have a few more weeks. Arnold UK is I think 5 weeks out.
Right.
And then the Legion Sport is 6.
Yep.
Oh, you know what, dude? You'll probably get 3 or 4 guys from the Arnolds then.
Yep.
So that's like a crazy stacked. I mean, at least top 4? Like you have Mark Hector,
Martin, if he doesn't win, will probably fly back in.
Andrew Jack and James Hollingshead, at least 4.
Right.
Like, and 3 of them I don't think are going to qualify for the O, and 3 of them are going to be pretty Olympia level athletes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so let's just say James wins, Andrew's qualified, James wins, and then you have the other 2 who are for sure probably going to do the next 2 shows, right? Like you at least Mark Hector probably. I don't know about Martin because he's I don't think he's like, I think he needs 1 more year and then he's like a top 10 Olympian.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's at that cusp where it's like he could either go just for the experience and get like, 13, 14, 15 maybe, and then, or he could take the year off, collect some money, take a year off, and then come in that much better because he got a lot better even just from last year.
I was like,
he's
yeah,
still he's pretty fresh still though. He's only done 1 show, right?
Right.
Yeah.
He looked because I compete against him in Texas, and I went up to him, and from last year to this year, he made some dramatic changes. I told him that. I said, I mean, he's a little wired, but talking to Martin, but he made some dramatic changes, man. I told him that his legs, his shoulders, he made some good. I told him kudos to him, man. He said, Phil, I just didn't want to see your glutes this year. So he didn't want to be behind me this year. So I said, that's all good, man.
Isn't he only like 25?
Yeah, he's young.
Yeah, he's young. He's very young.
It's like a lot of people don't realize, like at that 25, 26, 27, 28, that's all muscle maturity. So like what we're looking at now is like an immature Martin, meaning like his muscle has not matured yet. So like you give that kid 2, 3, like, and that's mature muscle. Like that's like, I'm not trying to say it's immature or anything, but for him relative to how he'll look in the next 4 to 5 years, I think he's going to be like a really dangerous guy.
Oh yeah. I actually thought he was going to end up winning Texas.
It was close.
I thought he was more, and no offense to Andrew Jack, he's a fucking phenom, but I thought Martin was just a little bit more complete, like balanced, head to toe. No,
especially from the back.
Yeah, especially from the back. That's an Olympia level back shot right there.
That's a lot of density he put on.
Yeah,
the quality's not as good. This is such better photo, but
yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he really brought it this year.
I think it's just his upper that needs to mature a little bit more relative to the top 10 guys at the Olympia.
Yeah, he's got a great structure though. I mean, the flow is amazing. The lats really build a nice silhouette for the chest. And
he's learning with the vacuum as he grows.
Yes.
So I think that's going to benefit him even if he gets to like mass monster size. As long as he's keeping the waist tight and vacuuming as he grows, so he gets that muscle, like he knows what to do with it. I think that's only going to help him when he gets to like 260, 270. You know what I mean? Like, because when you're trying to do vacuums and you haven't done them before, dude, they're fucking hard. They're even hard for me, and I'm like 230 pounds. Like, if I'm not doing them, and I haven't been doing them for like a year or 2 years, it'd be really hard to pull that stomach in, especially with food in you, whatever. But if you're growing into that, like, dude, he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be like a really dangerous competitor in the next 5 years.
Yeah, definitely on the up and up. Tonio, do you do much of a vacuum? Because I remember you for just having such crazy abs.
Nope, I don't know how to vacuum to save my life.
You just don't know how to, or you just don't need to?
Nah, I mean, I've tried it, but nope. Unless I'm laying down, I'm not getting it.
It's hard. It's hard to start. Because even me, like, this is me at like 220 pounds. Like, I'm a smaller dude. Even when I started then, I'm like, holy fuck, dude, I can't pull this in. I can't hold it. I'm gassed. I can't breathe. Yep. It's just something you practice though. It's like muscle memory. It's like you just learn it over time. And I would recommend, if anyone can, if you guys can, whatever, like, I don't know how your front doubles look with or without it though, but it's just something that it's nice to have that control over the muscle. That's all.
Yeah. I remember, when I first got into bodybuilding, I was always watching Rich Piana, and he would always show videos of him practicing the vacuum in the mornings and just talking shit at the camera. Like, it was always good to wake up to that.
Yeah, Bigger by the Day. I used to watch that.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah,
that
was my prep watch. Like every prep, I just watched that.
Oh yeah.
Get me in the mood to eat all that food after the show.
Mm-hmm. I guess still kind of on topic. Miss Olympia in bikini. Elisa Pacini. I saw a video of her. I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but she had her masseuse was like digging into like the ribs in the abdomen. Like,
yeah.
I'm not sure if like that's supposed to help with like, because like their side shot is pretty much a vacuum.
Yeah, so
what
I'm assuming it is, it's like a lymphatic drainage.
Okay.
So what happens is like, especially us, like taking PEDs and everything, like we'll hold water and inflammation in between all of the muscles. So like the lines in between each individual muscle. So like the abdomen, like you have a 6-pack, each individual ab, there's lines in between. So in between those lines, for example, are your shoulders, your arms. We hold like inflammation, water, like fluid retention, especially if we're on gear. So getting that before a show could potentially benefit you because you're going to get rid of that like fluidy look. Like even for me, dude, I can be like dick skin shredded and there's still a little bit of fluid that we can see because we know what it, like, you know, the average eye would be like, oh, you're shredded. It's like, yeah, but there's levels. There's another level of being shredded and dry and having that just split skin in between the muscle groups.
Right. Found it. Yeah, look at this craziness.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks like it hurts.
Yeah. Oh yeah, look at her face.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not super comfortable. That guy looks like he's going pretty hard though.
Yeah. And then yeah, just like the regular. But yeah, I don't envy God.
Because though, you know, that's what we do, man.
Yeah, I mean that's why she's the best.
Yeah. She has no waist too, like, so whatever she's doing, I'm gonna do. You know?
Yeah. You're like just taking notes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna timestamp this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember I used to do. I still need to do physical therapy, and they'd like hold down my lat and just peel it open with their thumb, and then they'd go in with like the Degrassi tool and whatnot. So, I guess it's a little different, but that one's more for just like releasing the muscle.
Yeah, I pretty much did it on myself for my Toronto show because I couldn't drop my hip. Like my whole right hip was completely locked. Like I literally couldn't shift that hip at all. So I got a little overzealous with it and blocked a nerve, and my whole right leg, like my whole right quad was numb for that Toronto show. But the hip dropped, so I just went too hard. Like I was just going crazy on it for like hours for like 4 days straight. But if you just push in the muscle, like if you have something that's tight, if you just push into it very lightly, like you don't even have to go hard, you just kind of like press into it. It'll start to decompress, so then you can kind of like loosen a little bit just on your own. Really. Yeah.
Do you have a tip for like tight glutes? Because my hips are like, I naturally sit like horribly man spreading, and I've noticed like when I'm squatting and stuff, it's so hard to keep the legs from flaring out.
I mean, for squats specifically, you got to lock the joint in. Like for every movement, in my opinion, you have to lock the joint in. So if you're doing squats, you don't want your hips to be like curved at all. You literally have to like push the knee out and lock the hip into the knee joint, like so it's straight. But dude, just stretch, man. Stretch your glutes. Like for me, it's just a routine, dude. Like if I'm in prep, especially, I'll go in the morning, do my cardio, do my abs, do my calves, and I'll do a stretching set for like 20, 30 minutes. And it's usually that long? Hips and glutes, because then it'll pull the lower back too. So like the amount of mornings, dude, I'll wake up and I'll have like a super tight lower back, and then it's loose as soon as I stretch my glutes. So like you kind of have to realize like it's the glutes pulling the back, and then as soon as you open the hips and open the glutes, pretty much your whole body starts to open up. Calves too, got to stretch the calves even though you don't think about it. The calves will affect the hamstrings, affects the glutes, affects the back. Like everything's kind of connected. Yeah, just stretch every morning.
Yeah, I have a right calf that's as hard as a rock and about 2 inches bigger than my left one. So
nice.
Yeah, I'm very nice. Yeah, I'm very familiar. What else, guys? Lots of bodybuilding news. Did you guys see that new video of Ramy?
Yeah.
Yeah. What were your guys'
Is that
thoughts
when he
on
was in the
that?
locker room?
Yeah, the locker room one. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's bringing another look again.
Yep. That's what Chad Nichols said, right? He's like, he's bringing something special.
Dude, I think he looks fucking awesome right now. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I've never really been a huge fan of Ramy's physique or like him winning. Only because I'm a conditioning guy. Like, I'm all about conditioning. So like, that's kind of my thing. Like, I'm not really like, not that he's ever been out of shape, but he's never been like Mr. Olympia, crazy,
Yep.
peeled out of his mind. But I think he's gonna change that this year. I think they're gonna come in peeled. I think they're gonna come in like, what the fuck, dude? His back is strided. And he's like, what are we, 17 weeks out?
Yeah, 17 weeks.
What the fuck? Look how hard he is, dude. Like, that's like 6 weeks out.
I mean, they do post like last year they posted a lot of like fake stuff. Like him and Bumstead were posting like old stuff and trying to get in people's heads. So you never know.
One of the things too, I mean, they got to be careful of a lot of guys getting top shape too early. We all know the body only can hold
peak too quick, right?
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? But I think what Ramy's trying to do with everything that's been going on with him not representing the Olympia title like he should, like,
Yes.
I think in his mind, they might be overthinking and a little bit too ahead. So you got to be careful with that because there's a lot going against him. I mean, he has to. He has to come in better than last year or his title's gone. Just with everything that's been going on. We all know the political aspect of bodybuilding. You piss off the minions and not show up to the Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. So he knows that they have to come in much better. If they even come in close to the same, it's over. But he did put it out there somewhat. Who knows if it's true or not, or if it's definitely final that this might be his last year anyway. So we'll see what happens.
You also have guys like Hadi too, right? Like, who a lot of people felt could have or should have won that show despite shoulders, whatever.
Right.
So when it gets to that point where you're like, you have a lot of the fans who are like, okay, this guy's the most conditioned guy in the show, and he's, relative size. Like, he's not like smaller than them, but he's obviously smaller. He's like, shorter and 220, 230. But at the same time, like, he's packed with muscle. He's
very complete.
Square inch, just as muscular as Brandon and Ramy, but disgustingly shredded. Like, no one was that shredded at that show. Like, that's what I mean by the lines in between. Everything popped, dude. Everything was split. So you're right. Like, if Ramy doesn't bring that level or close to, maybe you don't give it to him this year. Maybe you're like, yeah, this guy hasn't really been representing the sport as the way we maybe want him to, or the way like Jay Cutler would have, or the way Phil Heath did, or, even Brandon Curry, Sean Roden. Like, I think at that point you kind of maybe you're a little swayed on the judges panel,
Yeah. That's how I'd feel if I was, somebody in a little bit more important position than I am now. I'd be looking at Hadi for next year. And that's not even including all the new people this year.
Yeah. Well, you have Nick. Nick arguably could have did a little bit better. And Nick
Labrada looks like he's coming in. He kept his waist tight. Labrada looks like he's coming in bigger.
Yeah. But with equal shape somehow. Like, he hasn't lost his shape even in the slightest.
Right.
Hadi's just ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, it's just so freaky.
And the thing with Hadi, I like, and whatever, man. I'm classic, so I'm probably just talking shit. But he's not massive. He's not over. Like, Ramy is just like gobs of muscle, and nothing against it because he's fucking the best in the world.
Yeah.
But relatively speaking, next to Hadi, you're like, dude, this guy has everything. Like, he has great. Look at that, dude. He has great shape, small waist, sweeping quads. Glutes are shredded. Full as a house.
Great beard.
Great beard. Great hair. Look how polished he is. Like, polish is not something a lot of guys get. That's like a peak. You're peaked properly. Like, you're peaked on stage.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I've been really impressed with him ever since that Korea show.
Yeah.
Flex beat him, and it was controversial.
Yep. Yeah, I would. I'd be surprised if he placed anywhere less than second. He's just so good.
I thought he should have been at least second, but I think he lost some points on the prejudging, right? I think he came in I think it was like fourth after the prejudging, like that. I think they had him pretty low.
Yeah, Brandon was second last year, right?
Yeah.
Brandon's gonna have to really bring it up this year if he wants to keep holding on to it.
I think, I think they
and what he brought to the Arnold Classic is not. I didn't think that was it. He looked really soft to me.
I don't know about you guys, but I had Bonac winning that show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The new Bonac, I mean, people can't mark Bonac out, man. The new Bonac that we see now, he brought back. I'm sorry, the old Bonac he brought back now. Bonac is dangerous too now. So you know what I mean? It's just who's going to show up the way they're supposed to show up, and what the judges are technically looking for. Because we all know at the end of the day, it's Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
They're looking for that freak.
Yeah.
You know, you come in freaky. You know, I learned a lot this year. I mean, you could come in, and like I said, it all depends what show, what judge is judging, but you could come in ridiculously peeled and they won't give it to you if you're out muscled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I saw that at Texas. I mean, honestly, Kamal came in still the same as Tampa, and he took fourth. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? But he got outsized. And that's what I'm noticing. It's like they want a happy medium. It's crazy. And that's what I'm seeing. If you come in shape and still have that overwhelmed fullness and big, they're going to give it to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because first place winner, my opinion, just my opinion, glutes were soft. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree with you. Like, I think there should be more of a balance. Like,
yes,
you could even argue Martin should have won that show. And again,
maybe
because he looked fucking phenomenal. But as a complete physique, front to back, top to bottom, Martin was probably the most complete. Like he had equal condition all over. He was, as full as he was, whatever. If not one of the shreddest guys in the show, definitely one of the shreddest from the back for sure.
I think what got Martin in trouble, and I noticed it happened to Breon in the Olympia, I think 2 years ago. He got in some elbow fighting on the stage.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, and it wasn't in his favor. You got to be very careful. I know that when you're on stage, especially as open competitors, we do, because we're big guys, we hit elbows.
Yeah.
But when you come back and bow, he did that, and then of course Tyler yelled at him like, Martin, what are you doing? Sometimes you got to be careful because like I said, Breon did it 2 years ago, and then there you go. What's his name? Terrence Ruffin just came right in and took that second place. So you got to be careful. I know we're amped up and I bump elbows with people too. I'll just move. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and go elbow fighting with somebody on stage.
I did the same thing at Toronto. I think I slapped someone actually. You're throwing your arms up, you slap their elbow. Like, so I just moved. I just took a step back. But for me, it works in my favor because I'm taking a step towards the judges.
Right.
Yep.
If you guys want to slap my elbows, by all means, I'm taking a step towards the judges. I'm looking, 10 pounds heavier than you guys now. You know what I mean?
It's a good strategy.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna take that note.
Always take that step back, man.
I think the knee jerk is to go forward to get out of their way, or at least that's my brain. But backwards, I think that's the better strategy. I'm
getting out of their way, but I'm gonna look bigger.
Right.
If you don't want to move, man, I'll move for it. I'll move for everyone, and the judges won't say anything if it's only one guy, right? Like if it's only when you get to the most musculars and they're standing on the ledge now, then they'll be okay. Start moving back,
Yeah. Phil, you were right next to Andrew Jack. You saw him. What was your thoughts of him at Texas, and what are your thoughts about him coming into the Arnold UK?
Well, Arnold UK is going to be a tough show.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be a tough show. I'm not really the guy to drop any criticism on anybody, but he did make it clear that he was 85%. Now, I would never say I'm 85% because if I'm 85%, I'm not doing the show. You get what I'm saying? So I take this as, and this is only my opinion, because we know how everybody wants to get on social media. Okay, I respect all bodybuilders, every last one of them. Never said anything bad about one bodybuilder or anyone as an athlete. But if you say the 85%, you're actually making an excuse just in case you don't.
Oh,
You get what I'm saying? So ahead of time, like who does that? I haven't heard one bodybuilder ever say, "Oh, I'm 85%," and but I'm still coming to do the show. The only criticism I have for him, granted, yes, he won. He could have been he could have been better. He could have been harder. His glutes could have been tighter. His posing wasn't 100%. I think his posing. A lot of people saw that, but to me, if your posing not on point, then how could you win a show at all? Anyway.
yeah.
But all respect due to him. He did win. He brought what he felt was the package you need to bring to win. The only thing was the speech. I'm big on respect, and I'm big on that's just me, and a lot of people on social media knows how I roll. I just don't like when they curse or say, I kicked ASS at my pro day at my get my pro card, and I came here and I kicked ASS, and I'm going to UK and I'm going to kick ASS. I mean, listen, I know you're amped up, you won and everything, but at the end of the day, respect the bodybuilders that's on stage, because they're the one that's bringing the best out of you. You know what I mean? And we're all there trying to eat, and we're all there trying to compete for ourselves and our family. You know what I mean? And I always show love to the athletes, especially more so even backstage talking to the young guys. Even with Quinton, I was telling Quinton it's going to be something really, really nasty in the future. But I even told him, I said, Quinton, when you're shaking on stage because you're trying to pose too hard. So
is that what that is?
Yeah. Because Quinton, when we all pose in practice and pose in front of our coach, like me doing FaceTime, we're fine. I could be at my gym and people could be watching. I'm fine. But sometimes nerves do set in. But with him, he was over posing. And I was like coaching him on stage, especially when he did a rear double bicep. I'm saying, right there, just relax. And he's watching me, because I was behind him. And he did it. And he looked much, much better. And he gave me thanks for it. But like I said, homeboy could have been better. I wish that they would have, like I said, Martin brought it, bro. At the end of the day, I told him that he was extremely, extremely upset, which is understandable. I've been there, being upset, but you just still got to control your anger. In the back, you got to control your anger. Understand that there's other shows, and he's still young. He's still young, and he's still growing. He's going to be better.
Yeah,
but that's just my critique on homeboy. He could have been better and more respectful. I think everybody needs to be like Tony. You need to be like Tony, man, because Tony is like, he's just happy to be on stage, and he's having a good time out there. And if you talk to him, I saw when you did your meeting with Ron. You know what I mean? You're always respectful. You're very happy. You're respectful of all the competitors. That's what I like to see. Everybody just being respectful of everybody. Understand that we're all putting the same work in. And if I just loving each other and do what we do. That's it. We don't need to be sitting in here how we kick this one's ass and all that mess. We don't need to be saying all that.
The way I see it is like bodybuilding, we're all doing our own thing. Like nothing I do affects what you do. I can't strategize to beat you. It's not like a fight where I'm watching game tape or fight tape or anything. Like nothing that you guys are doing affects anything that I'm doing. Right. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like we're all doing the same thing. Like we're all in the same position. We're all men who are trying to feed our families, trying to feed ourselves, trying to provide, trying to make a career for ourselves, trying to make a brand for ourselves without, taking away from someone else. Like I'm not trying to take food away from you. At the end of the day, I might, if I beat you in a show, but my intent isn't like, I want to take food off Phil's table. I want to take food off Tonio's table. Like, you know what I mean? It's like at the end of the day, I think we should just all kind of be there for each other. Cause like, dude, this sport sometimes fucking sucks. You know what I mean? It's lonely. not the most fun. It's not a lot of people get it, and not a lot of people want to stick around through it. So, you know, at the end of the day, like if we're at the shows together, like who else is going to be there for us? You know what I mean? Like we might have our one person for emotional support, whatever, our partners, our whatever, but at the end of the day, like it's just us. You know what I mean? It's just the bodybuilder in the gym. So I think it is really important to just be there for one another, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, dude. At the end of the day, like we're all doing this. Like we all know mentally what we have to go through to be where we're at. So it makes it a lot harder when the same people who are going through the same shit are making an enemy out of you, you know?
When Andrew Jack did his speech, the first thing I thought of was like he was trying to take a page out of Blessing's playbook with like talking smack on stage and like generating hype. And he even addressed him too. So that's what I thought of. I didn't think of it as disrespectful. I thought of it as like promotion work.
I didn't catch it, to be honest. Like the only part I catched was something where he said he was talking about the haters. Like that part was kind of like what Phil's saying. I'm like, the haters can like shut their mouth or whatever. Yeah.
You know, too, you got to think about it too. If him and Blessings or someone saying the same thing, we need to find out who's the core of why they're speaking that way.
Yeah. I mean, who's their content manager?
It's I mean, I know who it is. I'm not saying no names, but you know what I mean? There's someone encouraging that. You get what I'm saying? You don't see, you know, we could throw out big coaches, Neil Hill, we could throw out Hani. You don't see their guys winning and representing themselves that way on stage because they won't put up with it, right? Yeah. So at the end, I won't put up with it. I tell my clients, you step out of line, you're no longer with me. It's always respect, no matter what. I won't deal with anybody if I see their attitude isn't right, because I always sit down with everyone before I work with them, even people from my business that I personal train. We have to have some type of mesh. We have to be able to communicate and you know, have good understanding. So there's a core to the situation beyond both of them pretty much acting like that on stage, and that's pretty much. I'm going to leave it at that.
Has Andrew trained out of Boca Raton?
No, they got the same coach.
Oh, they do? Same coach? Okay.
All right.
I
got nothing against the guy. I met him at my show. Seemed like a super nice guy, but I would never personally be big on that either. Like I'm kind of like Phil. I'm just like Antonio. Like, man, I'm happy to be here, dude. Like, this is the best job that any one of us could ever have. So I'm not going to start like taking shots at other competitors or the fans or haters. I had one person come up to me after the show and they were like, pumped I won. Like, oh yeah, you shut up all the haters. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like, I don't
what haters?
Yeah, well, like I'm sure there's people who hate for sure, but I'm like, dude, that I haven't even thought about that one time. I was like kind of more focused on the people who were there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was focused on the people who were there. I was focused on the athletes I was competing with, because I wanted to make sure they all had a good time too. And I didn't want to, like, you know, if I win the show, I don't want to be that guy who like, oh, he won, he's such a dick. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, at the end of the day, like, you know, we're all here, man. We're all here to compete, and we all did the exact same thing to be here. So, you know, I got nothing but love and respect for anyone, literally anyone who's on stage, right?
That's a good way of looking at it. Okay, so Andrew coming into the Arnold UK, you know, we're thinking he's going to have a hard time. Have you guys seen? Is there an updated list besides the one I'm about to show?
I just know Hassan is out. That's all.
Hassan's out.
He moved near me, eh?
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. He's right like 30 minutes away from me now. I did a photo shoot with him in July
for Jed, yeah.
Yeah, and then I had found out that he actually just moved to Canada, and he's at Pure Muscle now. Actually, I just saw him like last week.
Perfect. That's a great climb for him.
Actually. I saw Hassan and Quint there that day.
Okay. Let's see.
Is that Bieke down there?
Yeah, Bieke.
Nice.
If he comes in shape, man, Bieke got a good. I mean,
man,
I don't think it's going to be a.
Ben Chow's been pumping him up for years, so like he needs to show up.
Yeah, it's not going to be a cakewalk. I could tell you that.
It's going to be a good show, but for 10 years we've been talking about Bieke.
Yeah,
he's such a freaking talented bodybuilder, but it's the conditioning at this level, you know.
And it's hard for him to get over here. I mean, I know he wanted to do the Arnold here in Ohio. It's just so hard. He's been struggling trying to get over here.
Yeah, with the like travel restrictions. and everything.
Yeah.
Just no physique updates.
No, he's always really quiet, man, and it's unfortunate because you see him all the time. And you're like, this guy could literally win any show.
Yeah, if
He
he
could
comes
literally
in
win
his
any show he
shape.
wants.
That's from a week, 2 weeks ago.
He keeps it tight all year long, though. I mean,
Uh-huh.
even in some of his past pictures, this guy stays in shape. I don't know how he does it. Like I said, with the restrictions and the frustrations coming with that, not being able to compete and make money sometimes,
Yeah.
man, that would mess me up. This guy stays focused, man. He stays focused.
You know what though? I find anytime like with COVID in Canada and everything, if you're able to stick to your routine, you just kind of get through it. You know, like
Yeah.
obviously in some way it's going to be affected, but for me personally, like all I do is eat, sleep, train, and coach. So if you can stay in your routine at any point in time, whenever you're off, like anything that's kind of in your way, even if it's like a personal thing, like personal life matters or whatever, if you can just stay in your routine, then at least you have that mental like fortitude of like, okay, well, at least I have this, at least I'm doing things for myself, you know?
Yeah, staying in your own lane is
You
always
got to
good.
watch out for this guy too, man.
Yeah. There's those are,
Dude's
that's
massive.
Caucasian dry.
Yeah. And the thing is like, especially for me too, because I'm really white as well. Like you don't really get to see the graininess. You don't get to see the detail of the skin through pictures.
Yeah, because you can see the cross striations on those quads, but you can't really see it right now.
And think about how dense he is too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you lose that. See how this shot, he obviously looks dense, but I don't think it's doing him a lot of favors, you know?
Yeah.
It's scary too. So
yeah, he looks kind of narrow, which sounds kind of crazy.
Yeah. But like you look at him in person and you'll see how dense that muscle is.
He's a good guy. Holland's a good guy, man.
Yeah. Wow. Is that recent? Oh shit.
6 days ago.
Oh man, his glutes look good there.
God. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good back.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll be hard to beat. For completeness and for size, because he has the mass. I think it's a show personally. Because like Phil said, like if, and this is no knock against Andrew, but if he comes in tighter, which to be super competitive at that level, he probably should. I think personally he might lose a little bit of what got him that win, because he'll lose a little bit of fullness. He'll lose a little bit on his upper, and he's not light on his upper, but because he's so tall, he has a little bit of like places he needs to fill in. I think a little bit more.
His lower back.
Yeah. Even like his arm to lat gap, like it's just very, very little things. Like I'm being extremely nitpicky because he's phenomenal, but just comparing to someone like James, who is also phenomenal, or like the top 6, like Bonac, who is I think 6, who probably will move up, but you know, compared to those guys don't have those gaps, right? And that's really all bodybuilding is you get judged on your gaps, basically.
Yeah.
This guy, oh my god, he looks cartoonish, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, he really filled up this year. I'm just wondering what he looks like from the back, because that's going to be a big conversation. Is Mark Hector, or not? Sorry, this is Mark Hector. Is Andrew Jack going to lose from the back? Is he always going to win from the front? His side shots, weren't good in my opinion. The posing was off.
Well, I'm going to give him some credit. I think that was his 3rd show ever.
Right.
No, his 2nd. Andrew Jack.
Yeah.
That was his pro debut.
But like ever though, I think he's only done like 2 shows, right?
Oh yeah. Because
he did like a Kuwaiti show.
And here's the thing. For like, look at him. He's like, wow. It's almost like Ronnie, dude. Ronnie had some of the worst posing of anyone on stage, but it doesn't matter. You're just a freak. You're big. You're shredded. You're round.
Yeah.
But I do agree. Like at this level on the Olympia stage, I think the posing will become a glaring weakness. I think, unless he improves it for then, who knows?
It's good back.
That's Hector.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he's thick as fuck.
It's a month ago. So what, 10 weeks out? Yeah. Yeah, he put on some good size this off season.
That's probably
Yeah.
just a guy who just ate, slept, and trained, man.
Yeah,
Like,
look at the density. Wow. Because that he hasn't done anything. Wow, he hasn't done anything since last Arnold UK, I believe.
Yeah, he had plenty of time. Just like Holland said, he hasn't competed all year. He had plenty. He's coming in fresh.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I've learned is like, I mean, yeah, you can improve in between shows. I mean, I was able to put on 14 pounds to come into Texas to be fuller, but I mean, how much if you keep running it
Yep.
into the Olympia? You know what I'm saying? Like my thing is like, you won your show. Now let's work on making it to the Olympia, make some improvement. You got time, but now doing the UK, I mean, how much improvements are you going to be able to do going into the Olympia? I think that hurts a lot of people because they're running these shows. I know what they're thinking. If I could stay in shape, I could only get better as I go on.
Yeah.
But people don't understand the body. We're human. You don't know if your body's going to be able to keep up to come in better. We don't know. It could just break down that day. You know, who knows? You know,
Central nervous system, man. I don't think a lot of people take that into consideration. They think it's because mentally we're all alpha men, right? We're I'm gonna go push, no problem, and we don't really have a problem with it. It's like, cool, man. Same diet, same training, same everything. I live this life anyway. But like, you're pushing the PDs, you're pushing the cardio, you're in a deficit. It's only so long until your body's like, dude, like we need a break, man. And your body speaks to you all the time. It'll tell you when something is off, and if it's off and you don't take care of it, you're not getting anywhere you want to go, man. I can guarantee you that. Like, if you listen to your body, it'll do literally whatever you want it to do. If it says you're tired and you feed it or you rest, all good. It'll do whatever you want it to do going forward. But if you're pushing and pushing and pushing, and your body's like, dude, like we're done, and you're going another 8 weeks, like I don't see any improvements for those 8 weeks. I actually would see probably a lot of going backwards, to be honest.
Now, Tonio, you only did 3 shows so far this year. And you're feeling pretty fresh, right? You did Cali, Orlando, and Chicago.
Yes.
Yeah. And you're still feeling pretty fresh?
Oh yeah, we still feel good. But it's just like what he was saying too. Like, your body's gonna let you know when you need that break and you need that time. So I mean, and I don't know how long now. I finally got a little cheat meal or whatever, and I actually woke up looking even better today. So, which is always good.
Yeah.
We told you.
Wasn't my French toast?
Man, eat some food. Get a little cheat meal.
Definitely got to feed
it's all good now, you know. But a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't have cheat meals, and I don't usually do cheat meals either personally. But it's not because I'm not trying to be hardcore. I literally just like don't care to eat them. But if there's a point in time where your body's like really, really tired, you might need it, man. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's a lot of different ways to skin a cat, you know?
Yeah, I noticed my show, especially like last year when I had my best shows. I don't call them cheat. I just call them refeed. I mean, I stick to the basics, the burgers and fries. Because that's what I do anyway. Yeah. When I'm carving up at night at the show, I'll come in before I go to bed with the burger and fries. And with me, carving up is so hard, which I found out. I mean, for Texas, we ate clearly over 6,000 grams of carbs. And my body was just eating it and just wasn't getting full, you know? So the refeeds, I believe, they work for me because my body operates off of junk. It's very weird. Like, if I don't have that refeed once a week where I can have a burger and fries, I don't eat sushi because my coach is really lenient. He picks it's like only 3 refeeds you can do. He's not big on pizza because of dairy. It does mess with the stomach because of the cheese. But I'll still sneak it in here and there. But I think the refeeds really help. With Tonio, I mean, he had a little break. I mean, he had Chicago, so he had a little break, several weeks to regroup, refresh, to go into this show. I think when you do it that way, it's smart because now, you're giving your body a break off of the orals. You know what I mean? Because that's really the things that hurt us is being on orals and running them, especially people that have run one show 1 week and then run the next show the following week and the next show the following week.
Right.
And then you're working out peaking and peaking and peaking. You know what I mean? And then the depleting of water, that's where the danger is coming in on top of the orals. But when you have some break time, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, or whatever, you give your body time to replenish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You still get your blood work done. You give your body time to replenish, and then you go again. That's a smart move to do it. But when you do back-to-back shows, weekend after weekend after weekend, it could be taxing on the body.
Especially if you're pushing for if you were pushing for another 8 weeks and then another 5 weeks, and you're pushing that whole time. Yeah. You're trying to make improvements. You're like, oh, I got to get better. It's like, dude, you're not your body's going to look tired after a certain amount of time, mainly just from the wear and tear, wear and tear.
I think it happened to Justin. It happened to Justin when,
exactly.
Yeah. So,
and he just looked tired. That was because in their head, they're thinking, oh, okay, I'm flat. I need to fill out. Right. Dude, your body's not going to do the same thing that you think it's going to do. You think I'm just going to eat all this food. I'm going to fill right up. I'm going to look awesome. It's like, dude, you're tired. Your body's not going to fill out the way, because your body's not absorbing the nutrients the way it's supposed to absorb the nutrients, because it's too busy fighting off everything else it needs to fight off. So the liver inflammation, the kidney inflammation, the inflammation just from being in prep, all of these factors that your sleep probably isn't great either. All of these different factors that come into play, your body's it's too busy doing all these other things for it to care about building muscle or burning fat or looking healthy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. The Olympia qualification, is that done? Was Texas the last show?
No, there's one more. There's one more show. My wife is
are they blocking the qualification off 4 months out?
I thought they were.
I think it's November.
Virginia.
Right?
I think Virginia is the last one.
Is it November?
For qualification, I think.
November 20th, right? Or September 20th.
November 20th. Yeah. I think that's going to be the last.
Okay, wow. So that's pretty late in the season. Okay. So so Legion would still count for the Olympia, this year's Olympia.
Right.
Italy, Arnold UK. Oh God, what are the other shows? The Prague. Okay.
Phil, are you done for the season?
What's that?
Is Phil, are you done for the season?
Oh yeah. I did 4, man.
Yeah.
I normally don't push it past 3, but we just wanted to go to Texas, so we love Texas, so we just went there. But yeah, I'm done.
And Tonio, you're gonna keep pushing for the O. All right, so you're gonna do Legion, and if you win, are you gonna do the O right away?
Nah, I talked to my coach about it. We do want to take Legion. Doing the O would be cool, especially being my first year in Open. But I'm not trying to go to last place at the Olympia.
Yeah.
So I'd rather just grow, and then take an off season from then. We can go and do the Arnold next year.
Yeah,
have fun with that. So definitely not going to rush into the Olympia. I actually wanted to stop already and go into off season. But my coach and my sponsors were talking. They were like, "Oh, now let's go to Texas. Let's go Tampa." I'm like, hey. Let's take a break. I want my French toast now.
They don't
want to take a break. Dial down off of everything. And Legion being in Reno, we were just like, why not do it? It's hometown. We did, they got fourth against 3 top guys last year, so why not do it again? So
Now, are you always out of Reno?
Yeah. So I used to live in Reno, but now I moved to the East Coast.
Okay, I was just gonna say, if you're still in Reno, that's only 4 hours away from me. Swing by, do it in person. But you went out to Atlanta, right?
Yeah, I'll be back in Reno mid-September.
Okay.
Because I still got family and friends still out there, so I'll be staying with them for the rest of prep to Legion.
Nice.
I have to write a mental note. Reno would be a cool show to go to.
It's huge too. It's an expo.
Yep.
I had actually thought of doing that last year for my pro debut. It was 2 weeks after the Hurricane Pro, but it was a 9-hour flight. There was it was all 2 connector flights.
Yeah.
There's no one way. I'm like, dude, I'm not sitting on a plane for 9 hours.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Dude, I did the Hurricane Pro because it was a 3-hour flight. I'm like, fuck it, I'm doing that show because I'm not, especially a day, 2 days out of the show, and you can't eat anything. You can't whatever, I'm just like, I'm not sitting on a plane for 9 hours. There's absolutely no way. No meals on you. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Well, that's what they say about the UK Australia is all the guys that would fly down to that one. I can't imagine how long that flight is.
I probably wouldn't do it, to be honest. Like, I
Yeah.
wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I don't know how much money Aslan's giving you, Tonio, but like, yeah, they wanted to fly you all over like that. Like, they'd have to make it worth it.
If there's a price,
Yeah.
if there's a price, maybe I'll do it. But
yeah, if there's a certain number you're looking for and they're willing to do it, I guess. Yeah.
It's that number.
And they also got to fly you first class. So not only the money, you
Leg
can't be
space.
sitting in no tight suits. You want your legs to go up and lay back. So you got to go first class.
Okay. Maybe I'd make it work then.
Yeah, like, dude, even I'm smaller than these two, and I don't even like sitting in the airplanes. I sit there like literally just like this the whole time. There's someone always on the other end, and you don't want to be that guy, right? So you get like a little bit of elbow space, but you're like, fuck, the whole time, dude. It's just like, I'll try and sleep on my arms and just like hope for the best, dude. I just hope I can get like 30 minutes of sleep in.
You gotta get the neck pillow, man.
I got one for my last
neck pillow and just put some Joe Rogan on, have him talk about like space or something, and
man,
gone.
Next time I might just take an edible and hopefully I just pass out or something.
Man, yeah, either that or like, I know my wife, she uses Ativan, and I know that's like a big like relaxer. I'm not advocating for you to try out different things, but there's ways around things, I think, to get you to the right spot.
I don't know. I fly first class. I learned my lesson. I can't sit in the seats. So if I before I even tried the exit seat, and the guy got up, he said, "You want an inside to give you more leg room." This was last year. After that, I told my wife, "No more." You know what I mean? Because it's a tax write-off for my company. Anything I do with bodybuilding is a tax write-off for me. So
perfect.
You know what I mean? Because I basically say I'm actually sponsoring. I'm one of my sponsors because like I said, Structure Fitness is sponsoring, Phil Clahar. So the more money I spend on bodybuilding benefits me for taxes. So
that's why I look at the live streams. It's all I keep track
that's
of
why
all
I rent them. Yeah, we've been watching every live stream, even though some of them sucks. I mean, it's very horrible. But I just love looking at all the athletes. I only really do it honestly because I love bodybuilding. I love seeing these athletes get on stage and go at it. You know what I mean? And I just love it, man. Like I said, man, I love bodybuilding so much. That's why at my age I'm still doing it. And then somebody came up to me and said, "Okay, let's talk. I know next year you want to retire. Let's talk. I got people to negotiate with. So let's say." You come in bigger. Your game plan is coming about 70, 274, 75. I said, yeah. And you come in great condition at that weight and you start just killing shows or placing super well. Are you going to retire then? I said, well, then we'll talk about it. That might be a little bit different then. Because, people keep saying I don't age. Everybody was like, my wife must have showed her plastic surgeon my picture. I used to train him a long time ago when I moved here in 2008. And she sent him a picture that I competed over at Texas. And he said, "Does this guy age?" She said, "I don't think so. Wow. He just doesn't age." But my family genetics, like my mom is like 60-something years old, and she looks like she's in like her 30s. So genetically, our family don't really age that well. I mean, I have gray hair. That's why I keep my head shaved. I'm not bald. I'm bald by choice because I have a lot of gray hair and I keep my beard and all that. I shave so you don't see the oldness. But I'm still fresh, man, at 48 years old. So, next year, man, things are better and I'm not, deal with all the nonsense. And, I'll stick around for a little bit longer. You know what I mean? And then I told my wife I'd probably just jump into masters after that. You know what I mean? Just for the fun of it, because I just love it. I love I want to say I love the dieting, but I like staying in shape. It actually helps my business run well because a lot of these trainers out there all are fat, where they're super skinny, you know what I mean? But when people come and see me, they're like, good God, so at my age and the way I take care of myself, I just love it. I think if I don't stay doing something in bodybuilding, then I'm going to become a civilian and let myself go and be like, you know what I mean? So I'm just going to keep pushing, man. I just love it. I'm just going to keep pushing and come back better. I just never give up. My goal is just to get to Olympia. I don't care where I place, honestly. You know what I mean? Like I told you before, like years ago, I prayed to go pro and I did that. I did Ben Weider Cup. I got on a pro stage. I did well last year, was my breakout year. I just want to step on stage at the Olympia. And everything is accomplished that I want to do. You know, be able to step on the Olympia stage and be able to, my grandkids, you know, we got 11 grandkids. So be able to say, you know, Pop really did it. You know what I mean? They're proud of me either way. When I place, they're like, we still love you, Pop. You're number one in our book, you know? So I do it for them. I met a couple bodybuilders that came out of retirement because of me. One of them did compete at the Texas. I just love hearing them. It's like they said, "Man, we see you up there at 48 years old. I'm 42 and 43." And I just, you know, I mean, I just love that I could encourage people to come and still try it again. Even the young people that look up to me, even at my age, still doing what I'm doing. That's my energy to keep doing these shows. And then, you know, looking at the younger competitors out there, that's the next up and coming stars and their positive attitude. I just love it. Like Texas, I literally sat in the back line watching these guys battle for the first time ever in bodybuilding, actually smiling, and I'm clapping for them because I'm just so excited to see these guys up there and battling, you know, to make it to the Olympia. So I'm loving life right now. Loving life.
We got to get Tonio to that level where he's a little bit more talkative.
I just like to listen.
Yeah, he's been just chilling the whole time. I keep looking down. I keep forgetting.
He's up there. I mean, he's up there flexing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He got the delts all going. He's like, I'm just going to come in with my shirt off and show them what's up. You know?
Yeah, like, what's up, guys? How's it going?
I'm trying to look big like you. I was always told, you know, you should listen more than you talk.
Great quality.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying to do that myself. I talk too much sometimes. So it's one thing I told myself. I'm like, I got to start listening to what people are saying a little bit more versus like thinking of my response. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. Also, dead air. You know, as a host and Tyler, my co-host, like dead air is painful. So sometimes you have to be comfortable with silence.
Like that?
No, it's horrible. Because you just think like, oh, okay, when is someone going to click off? That's like the thought that always goes through my head. So I always want to make sure we're being entertaining, but also educating, and like trying to find that equal balance is always tough.
Yeah.
Yo, do you guys sweat all the time? Being that big?
Not anymore. I keep the house around like 65, so it's an ice box in here.
What about the two monsters over there?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sweating now while I'm talking.
Yeah,
man. But we keep I have like a big a medium industrial fan that blows on me. My wife hates it because it's powerful.
Yeah,
and then we have the air running. I mean, we're in Florida. You know, we're used to the heat a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like talking here, you know what I mean? You start sweat a little bit, but not really a lot. I don't sweat a lot.
It's just like it's like a heat. Your body starts to heat up, dude. I don't know what it is, man. Every time I do a podcast, like it's not because I'm nervous or anything. I'm just sitting here, I think. Maybe because like, man, Tonio's got no shirt on. I usually don't wear a shirt in my house. I'm wearing pants. I'm like, oh my God, dude. Like
pants.
Yeah, man. I just sit here and roast, dude, every time. I got lights on
taking notes
to make sure you can see me. Got the ring light, like fuck, man.
You gotta get one of them under the desk.
I thought I was coming in. I said, all right, I'm gonna do this podcast in my tag top. And here goes Tony. So next time, I'm gonna be shirtless. Fuck it.
Yeah, he's gonna be imposing trunks.
I'm gonna follow a page out of his book. I was like, I'm gonna come in my tag top, but now if we do it shirtless, we're gonna have to
Definitely not.
It'll make you sweat less.
He's gonna come in all oiled up, just like just mowing the lawn or something.
Spray tan.
Yeah. Got stage lighting.
That's how it feels right now, dude. It feels like I have stage lighting on. I have my ring light. I don't know about you guys, but I use my ring light when I do my check-ins too.
Oh yeah.
And I only do it for like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe not even that long. But the ring light alone, dude, and as soon as I'm done my check-ins, I'm like pissing sweat. I'm like, oh my God, dude, I'm not ready for stage at all.
I have a couple box lights. They don't really give off any heat, so I don't know. A little different. I had a good question. Is asking about like hobbies. Like, what do you guys do for fun outside of bodybuilding and work?
We're gonna let Tony do this because he don't talk. So we're gonna let Tony answer the question.
Let him start.
I knew you were gonna put that
He's the
on
one who's
me.
always hanging out at the end, like, are they gonna forget?
I knew it was coming. Usually I stay quiet and I get to go last, or they forget, so I don't got to go at all. Hobbies. Well, depending on what weather is like, I like going, taking dogs to the river with the kids. But camping is huge. That's something we really like doing. Just being outdoors.
Yeah, build a fire.
Not to burn anything down. Try not to.
Yeah, try not to. Yeah.
Camping. I ain't know black people camp. You're not gonna get me out there camping. I'm telling you that right now because I watch way too many horror movies, and my black brother's not going out in no tent and be camping, like roasting no marshmallows. That ain't happening.
I didn't know we did it either until I did it.
Oh gosh.
No, it's actually good though. It's a good escape, clears the mind.
Yeah.
You're not on your phone and connected to social media. You're just disconnected from the world. So
that's how I feel about fishing.
You need to do that, I think. Even for me, I'll go for hikes a lot. That's kind of one thing I'll do outside of bodybuilding is go for a hike. I just think there's a lot of like healing properties in nature, man. I know it's like, we are nature at the end of the day. Like humans are all all a part of the universe. The earth is part of the universe. The earth will heal anything on it, any being on the planet, right? So going outside, dude, not having your phone is huge, man. Like we don't realize like what these phones actually are doing to us with the radiation and everything. Like we kind of just like forget it because we need the phone. But going outside, dude, is especially as a bodybuilder, like, we probably have a lot on our mind as bodybuilders, like always thinking of our physique, and our job is 24/7, like literally all the time. Like you don't have breaks from bodybuilding. Even your break from bodybuilding is stress because you're like, shit, man, should I be getting my meal in? I'm missing training. I'm not resting. Like, so, going outside, I think is for me, one of the greatest like escapes, I guess. But for me personally, like I like sports. So like, I come from a sports background. So I played hockey up until like not competitive, but like men's league competitive hockey, up until like 8 weeks out of my show. I'm playing soccer still today. Like today I have a soccer game. It's rec league co-ed. Like it's not like anything crazy competitive, but for me, I just like to go do things that are like normal things, normal people things. I feel like a normal person because I literally eat, sleep, and train. Like I don't do normal people things. So I kind of have to like force myself to go do things outside of bodybuilding because then it starts feeling like too much of a job, and I want to still enjoy what I do. And that helps me. So even just being social too, like, I don't know about you guys, but like, I don't see a lot of people throughout my day outside of the gym. So if I don't talk to anyone at the gym, which a lot of days I don't want to, ideally, if I don't talk to anyone at the gym, I don't talk to anyone at all the whole day. Like vocal, like obviously I text whatever, but I could literally go a whole day without talking to anyone. So hockey and soccer, man, just gets me out of the house, around other people, and feeling like a normal person. And it's fucking awesome cardio. So that helps me get in shape for my shows very quickly. For a lot of my shows, I've played hockey right up until a week out of the show. I'm not saying it's the smartest idea because like wear and tear on the body, you wake up the next day kind of tired and sore, but as long as I can manage that, then it's all good with me. It's just sort of my escape from bodybuilding, so it isn't so much of a chore, basically.
It's a good hobby.
With me, let me see what I did. Well, last night we went to the movies.
Yeah. What'd you see?
Bullet Train. It was pretty good.
Yeah, my dad actually told me
it was really good. But I just wanted some popcorn with butter, so we just we went and
the truth. For some reason, the truth sets you free.
Yeah, like I was like out of the blue because my wife knows I don't really do much. Even like on the off season, I would just I just love watching movies. I could sit in the house and watch movies all day. So I was like, "You want to go to movies?" She said, "Huh?" I said, "Yeah, I'm dying for some popcorn." And you know what? Since we've been in Texas, I've been trying to have an all beef hot dog. So these are my reasons to go to the movie. So the movie turned out really, really good. Really good. I was really impressed. You guys got to go check it out, Bullet Train. You'll be laughing. Okay. It's action with comedy and suspense. It's nuts. Like you can't figure out who's doing what. But like today, we're gonna celebrate a late birthday for my one of my grandkids because I was dieting when it was his birthday.
Yeah.
So movies. I ain't hiking. So yeah, my wife, she's shorter than me and she walks faster than me. Every time we go somewhere, she's like, "Why are you strolling?" I said, "I'm trying to burn as less calories as possible." This big guy, she'll do 20 steps, I do one. I mean, that's just me. You know what I mean? But yeah, movies, spending time with the grandkids, family time, because they put up with me. You understand, 4 shows is pretty much almost the whole year of me being angry and yelling and miserable. Bodybuilding is very selfish. We all know that. It's me, 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 me. And we're just focusing on doing our best and winning. That we tend to forget the most important part of life is family. So this is what I'm enjoying right now. And like, you know what I mean? I could have possibly did another show if I wanted to, but I do take heed and hear my body. My body tells me, like after Texas, it was like, you're done. You're tired, you are done. And I'm just looking forward to family time. Like, you know what I mean? Just being happy, not being miserable, still getting my food in and still be able to snack on some little things here and there, so just living a good life right now. I enjoy it and rewarding them for putting up with me this whole time of prepping for these past 4 shows. So that's pretty much it.
I think that's really important too, is having that I shouldn't say balance, but balance outside of bodybuilding with your relationships with people, because as bodybuilders, our relationships usually take second, they're secondary to bodybuilding. So yeah, dude, if you're competing all year, every year, like when are you ever going to take time for your relationships? And listen, at the end of the day, bodybuilding is not forever. Like there's an end date for all of us for competing and for being a bodybuilder. And when that end date comes, who's going to be around you still? If you weren't taking the time out of your life to prioritize other people, prioritize your family, prioritize your relationships, you're not going to have any of that when you're all done. And then, you're going to be 50, whatever. And you're like, fuck, now I'm alone. And I just wasted, I shouldn't say waste, but you have 30 years that you could have been, at least keeping people in your circle or keeping, making sure that they know that they're also still a priority, So I don't think a lot of people do that. And then at the end of their career, they're like, oh shit,
Yeah, I've kind of noticed that for myself. With the Army moving me like every 3 years, I've really noticed like I don't have a lot of close friends like I used to before I started moving around a lot. So like now it's like I have to be
now, right?
Do what?
I said we're older too now. Like
I mean, like I'm a whole different person now. So like I always try to be like kind to myself, because I know that's like one of my big things. Like I have all my therapy notes ever since like my first time talking with Tyler. Like my whole mindset on life is just like flipped over. But like self-compassion is one of the big things I've been working on lately. And I know I'm a different person, but I sometimes notice that I miss having like, just like with Tony was talking about going camping. Like I miss like just sitting around with the guys, but like those guys don't really exist anymore because they're their own people too, and they're different now. And they probably most of them have kids. Like
that's life, dude.
Yeah.
That's like a part of this whole experience that we all get to learn, And it's funny because people think like we all have like bodybuilders. They think like I thought about this yesterday. Like people would look at us bodybuilders and how we like post progress pictures and shit. Like we'll gain like 5 pounds of muscle. These people have the perception of like we've lived our whole lives jacked. Like this is still new to us. You know what I mean? Like if I'm getting Tonio size, Phil size, like you could look at me as, he's always been jacked, but it's like, dude, I've never been this jacked before. This is all new to me. It's still really exciting, So It's like you can't really like have those preconceived notions. Like life is all about like changes and new experiences and leaving the old behind. And it's not that easy, man. It's not that easy because, no offense, Phil, but like you're coming up on retirement soon in the next couple of years, 2-3 years, right? And that's a part of life too, man. Like I'm at the very beginning of my career. But at the end of the day, there's going to be a day where I'm not bodybuilding anymore. I'm not competing anymore. And, that's one thing that I always try and highlight the most, just enjoy the experience in the experience. You know, like in the moment right now, like especially bodybuilders, we have such. I've been really working on this the past couple of years, but we have such massive egos that are always chasing the next. So I hear bodybuilders all the time, and it's like it's sad, dude, because like they're talking about how unfulfilled they are, because they're like, oh man, I could win the Olympia. Like Nick Walker, for example, he's like, I could win the Olympia and it'd be on to the next. Like I have to win 10 more, and it's like, dude, you won the Olympia. Like you got to stop and smell the roses along the way. You know what I mean? Like, because if this was me 2 years ago, I would have won that Toronto show and been like, whatever, it's just Toronto, on to the Olympia now. It's like, this time I'm like, nah, man, like I've won a freaking pro show. Like, you know, Tony, you got second in Chicago Pro, like coming up from 212 to open. Like not a lot of people do that. Not a lot of people even have the opportunity to switch from 212 to open, let alone actually do well, and let alone
be competitive.
Pro show, right? Like Phil, how old are you again? 48?
Yeah.
48 years old, dude. Look at the guys who are 42 looking up to you, who are like, I can't even get back into the gym and train, let alone place. You got second last year to Ian.
Yeah.
Second place to seventh in the world.
Yeah.
At 48 years old. Like there's a lot of things that when we're in the moment, we don't really realize, because we're always like, I got to go to the next show. What's my next goal? But I think a lot of bodybuilders, especially like a lot of people in general, don't usually stop to smell the roses along the way. And I think, you know, and then you're 50 and you're like, fuck, man, I don't remember anything because I was always looking for the next thing, right?
If they make it to 50 with that attitude. That's another question too, you know?
Because they're going to push. They're going to push and push and push and push. And we all know what pushing feels like, and we all know what pushing does to our body. So you're right. If I were going the way I was going 2 years ago, pushing the way I was pushing and treating my body and mind the way I was treating it, I don't even know if I would live to 50, let alone bodybuild till 50, you know?
So take care of yourselves, take care of your body and your mind.
Just give everything, like give your body and mind everything it needs, man. It talks to you all the time, tells you everything it wants and needs. And it's our ego that gets in the way. There's like a barrier. It's like your true self, everything that you want and need, and then your ego. And then it's like the devil and the angel on the shoulders. And 9 out of 10, a lot of us are listening to the ego, right? Because the ego is temporary satisfaction. The ego is what can make me feel good right now, right? And, you know, this side's telling you, man, like if you just, you know, stop and enjoy the moment a little bit more, then you can enjoy the process a little bit more. And then that way we have more longevity, and that way we have more enjoyment, we have more fulfillment. And it's like the ego is like, nah, man, I need more. I need more people to recognize that I'm great. I need more people to respect me. I need more social recognition. I need more money. I need more power. I need more fame. You know, it's always about wanting more, not about enjoying what we're doing right now here, you know?
And that's a big point, because that's the damaging aspect of the situation, what you just said. Everybody wanting more and trying to keep their social media up and their IG up and everybody loving them and hearing how great you are. You're going to be the next this and the next that. And then it fills your head up to continue to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's why I always tell everybody, you have to have good people in your circle. Somebody that's going to be a straight friend and be like, listen, bro, it's not a good idea. I can't force you not to do what I'm asking you not to do, but I'm letting you know and I'm putting it on. You know, you just need good people in your corner, because sometimes, like, I'm older, so I don't have that mentality. I know that I appreciate every single day God gives me, so I don't have that mentality. As you get older, you tend to appreciate life a little bit more, and you're a little bit more sensitive to certain things and more realistic. Yes, when I was younger, oh shit, I can lift 595 pounds. I don't give a shit. You know, I'm just pressing all this crazy weight when I was younger. But now that I'm getting older and much more mature minded, you know, I just look at life a little bit differently. And that's why I try to, you know, even not just bodybuilding, but just dealing with the young kids around here in the neighborhood or in the gym or whatever, that'll come up to me and ask me questions and want to do things. I'd be like, listen, bro, you don't want to be doing anything you don't need to be doing. You're young, grow naturally, do what you have to do. Me personally, it's crazy. Like when I didn't even start anything until I think when I moved here in 2008. So I want to say about 2005. You know what I mean? I was doing all NPC shows in Jersey and Pennsylvania and winning natural. I was just genetically a big kid. I graduated high school at 235 pounds. So
Wow.
genetically, even when I'm done bodybuilding, I'm still going to be walking around at 250. You know what I mean? So because I would definitely want to keep myself at 250 because of my age. I don't want to be carrying all that crazy muscle.
Yeah.
But genetically, I'm already a big dude. You know what I mean? So like just keeping good people in your circle, man, and people that's going to keep it real with you. Your coach, them being understanding. Like, you know, my coach, like he listens to what I say, or he'll ask me how I'm feeling, what do I think, the percentage of this when I'm carbing up. If they're not going to hold what you have to say in conjunction to what they're doing, then it's not for me. You know what I'm saying? Or your coach is going to say, all right, man, listen, we're going to shut it down.
Mhm.
We're going to shut it down now and just start focusing on this. The tough part, though, is when you have sponsors and they make the suggestions of, you know, doing this and doing that. That's why, like, if I was ever in a position, I mean, I have HD and everything, but they allow me to do what I want. You know what I'm saying? They don't push anything or anything like that. But sometimes we get in that sponsorship road. Remember, though, it's your body, your life, your decision.
Yeah.
So regardless of what they want to tell you to continue to do, because you're doing great, especially like Tony, man, you're doing great. So at the end of the day, like, shit, man, this guy do a couple more shows, man. He's going to win one of them, and then he's going to be in the Olympia. And then, you know, let's say you go and you win in Vegas, right? You know what they're going to say, right? You're saying, you know, you want to shut it down and everything, but I just know how the business operates. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, you got to strike when it's hot. You know, don't worry about your placings. Get your feet there. Get used to being on that stage in the Olympia. You know, and then we'll worry about next year. You know, where we're going to place. I just know from experience that's what's
Right.
going to be the discussion. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you have to think about yourself and say, hey, you know what I mean? You got to know when to say no to the people that's thinking they're working in your best interest, if that makes sense. So you just got to know when to say no. It's your body. You are young, so much great potential you're going to have. I mean, I just see it when you did your show in Chicago, even the commentary, they were saying it. Everybody sees it. But if we
Yep.
push too much too fast, then that's going to cut your career short. And then you're going to sit back and say, well, I wish I could have and should have. So that's why I'm at the position where I would never, ever, and I'm not around people that's going to tell me what I should do. You know what I mean? I have a coach that told me that he really didn't want me to do Texas, but if you're feeling good, we'll go ahead and run it. But he said, Phil, after that, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear. He said, we're shutting it down. That's it. And that's what I did.
Who do you work with?
I work with Blue Taylor.
Oh, okay. Antonio, who do you work with?
Mike Courtney.
Okay.
Mike Courtney. Yeah. I thought you said Mike Corgan. I'm like, who's Corgan?
I'll be honest, I haven't heard of either one of them, but I also don't follow a lot of coaches, to be honest. Even when I had to look for my own coach, I was like, fuck, I don't really even know who to reach out to be honest.
Mhm.
Like I really only know like the top guys. Because like you guys are in the States too, so I don't really know like a lot of the
Oh, you're in Canada?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm
In
in
Canada?
Canada. I'm
Okay.
right by Dorian actually. I'm like 30 minutes away from Dorian. Hamilton.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I go train there sometimes, not very, very, very often, but it's like a 40-minute drive for me. So it's not too bad if I really want to go. I just personally like, I don't know about you guys, but I get like super set in my routine. So like some days I just don't want to, I don't want to drive there. And it's like, it's a little bit of an ordeal. You know, it's like 40 minutes there, train for an hour and a half. You got to shoot the shit with people that you haven't seen in forever. Bunch of pros there. So everyone's got to say what's up. And then it's like, you're in the posing room for 20 minutes. And it's like, oh my God, dude, I get home. It's like 4 hours later, 3 hours later. You're like, fuck, man, I almost missed my meal, you know? So I don't go there too often, but like Quint, I saw Hassan, Dorian, Antoine. I see all these guys whenever I go.
Wow. That'd be exciting. Just to be around, you know, like other pros.
And Frank too, Frank McGrath.
Yeah, a legend.
Ben Mikulski was there the one day. Yeah, it's pretty exciting, dude. But at the same time, it's like I'm kind of used to these guys. So on one hand, yeah, it's like, fuck, dude, like one, these guys are big. So, you know, that's one thing. That's one of the reasons I like to go is because these guys are so big. So it humbles me a little bit, a lot. But other than that, you know, and it's a sick gym too. But like other than Dorian, I don't really know any of the other coaches around here, dude, to be honest. Like I don't even know if we have any pro coaches around here, to be honest. I think Dorian's the only one.
Yeah. Phil, who did you say your coach was?
Blue Taylor.
Blue Taylor?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
I must have written it down wrong.
Yeah, Blue Taylor. He has quite a few. He actually coached the kid that won the USA's in the overall.
Oh wow.
We competed at Tampa together. He took 7th in his pro debut.
Nice.
Yeah, Blue Taylor, I've been watching him for a couple of years. And I don't know, every one of his clients from amateur to pros is peeled. I mean, every one of them comes in shape. So I sat on the phone with him. I said, listen, I need your help. I got 5 weeks to get ready for Texas. But then he helped me with Tampa as well. So it was Tampa for 5 weeks, and then we went into Texas. And within 5 weeks, he completely transformed me from Orlando. If anybody saw the pictures of Orlando, Tampa, I came in super peeled, but I was flat, so they said. But listen, when you're super peeled, bro, you're going to come in somewhat flat. It's hard to come in super full and peeled. It's one of the two. You're going to come in a little flat and still be shredded. But they didn't like it for Tampa. When I came back to the night show, they did. They said you were much fuller. Bring that to Texas. We came in 14 pounds heavier and super full, and I took 8th place. So, like I said, at the end of the day, I don't understand. I just keep pushing, keep smiling, take it on the chin, and just come back better. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm going to do next year. Yeah, but Blue Taylor is very, very – he used to be a pro. He was a pro, IFBB pro back in the day.
It's also worth noting, like this, he only had 5 weeks to get you in shape.
Yeah, he don't even know my body.
Let's go 1 year. He got you in shape. Flat is usually, the first time you work with someone, you're probably going to bring them in flat if you bring them in shape, because it's very hard to learn, especially in one show, learn how to fill that individual up. You're what, 270, 260 on stage?
Yeah, I came in 260 at Texas. Tampa was 246.
So imagine in his head, like you said, you ate 6,000 grams of carbs. Who eats 6,000 grams of carbs? You know what I mean? Like, of course you're gonna be flat. Even like 1,000 grams of carbs, dude. Like, your coach is probably the whole time thinking, "What the is going on, dude? Like, I'm giving this guy all this food and nothing's working."
Nothing.
Right. So I think those 2 shows were experiences for you, for your coach too. And he's probably going to take the best of each. Okay, I got this guy shredded. That's how I got him shredded. Okay, I filled him out. Maybe you spilled a little, like maybe you're a little bit like big and soft. I don't know, like, but maybe he'll take the happy medium in between the 2 shows and apply that for going forward. And now he gets to learn you through the off season too, and gets to monitor you through the off season as well.
Yeah.
5 weeks out is crunch time, right?
Yeah. That's what me and my wife was like. You know what I mean? Got to find a happy medium, and I think the year working with him, I've seen what he done, especially with the kid from the USA's. I looked at his pictures a year prior, and he put 25 pounds on this kid.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It's like nuts. And he's amazing. He's 24 years old. And like I said, he won the USA's in the overall. And I met him at Tampa, and the kid has a bright future, super bright future. And he's so polite and so happy to be there. He's another Tonio. He's like so happy, and so excited to be up there with the other pros. And yeah, so Blue is I'm just going to finish out my career with Blue, man. And like I said, bring the best I can. We'll see what happens. Like I said, next year I'm planning on ending it. But if it ends on a good note, then we'll go one more year. But I got to remember too, like, I don't want to be pushing no 50 and 51, still competing. I have to go to the Masters now. I got to let these young guys do what they do. Get my next, year or 2 in the Open, and then just go have some fun in the Masters. And probably, my wife was like, well, you can, if things don't work out like we wanted to work out, you can just shoot for the Master Olympia next year. So we'll see. We'll see how it works out. We'll see how everything works
out. Beef Stew, right?
Yeah.
He's the guy who, Stuart. He's the one who won the USA's this year.
Yes, that's him.
Yeah. So this is just for everybody real quick before we plug the sponsors. This is him. That's the guy that won the USA's this year.
Right.
Which one?
The blue trunks on the left.
Blue trunks. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I see him. He's right next to
Damn. Look at his legs, dude.
Yeah, dude, he's a mind. He wasn't like that a year ago.
Yeah.
Like I saw his pictures. Blue sent me his pictures a year ago. The kid is just crazy. hamstring drop.
Yeah, and he has a great vacuum from the front.
Yeah, it's nuts, man.
Yeah, so when I was watching the live stream, I was really surprised that they put him all the way in the back because I thought he could have gone, toe to toe with at least Phil.
Oh yeah, he could. I think he should have moved up to definitely into in the top 5, top 6.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Taking 7,
Yeah.
I think he really could have took. I mean, he was phenomenal. I gave it to him, man. He was phenomenal.
And that was before I knew that they were dropping you to 8th. Like when I was still thinking you were in the top 6, I was like, okay, I'd like to see. Like if you rewatch my commentary from prejudging.
Well, no, this one here is Tampa. I took 5th in Tampa.
5th. Okay, yeah. Okay, no, my bad. Yes.
It was Texas. It was 8th.
Yes.
And that's because I was flat in the morning. This looks like the night show. So yeah, I was more full here.
Yeah.
You guys, do the two of you work with your coach in the off season as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't start off season yet. Right now we're in the getting healthy phase of TRT. I gotta go get my blood work done. I like to wait for 4 weeks. So I got 3 weeks to get my blood work done, and then we're gonna start jumping into the off season.
Okay. Tonio?
Nah, he just lets me go and do my own thing.
Yeah, I used to do the same thing. I'll do like 4 to 6 weeks post show my own thing, just to reverse and just to get myself healthy, and honestly even just to relax from checking in, just to relax from having that routine. And then I like to go back to my coach like after 6 weeks or 8 weeks or something, just so I don't fall off the rails at all, and I don't just mentally I'm just like, cool, I'm going forward, and it keeps you accountable too, so then you don't have those like nights off, weekends off, stuff like that. So
yeah, that's where it gets me, is on the weekends. I'm like, I gotta let my body recharge, and this ice cream sandwich will be perfect right now.
Yeah. Fights last night almost got me, dude. I almost went out for drinks, pizza, and all that. So
drinks are really rough for me. I love drinking socially.
Yeah,
I don't drink. I don't drink at all. So.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, I don't really drink much. Like I maybe do like two to 3 times a year, maybe.
Yeah.
For usually just really only socially. I wouldn't drink just for fun.
No, I can't just drink by myself. That's weird. I'm gonna develop a problem if I did something like that. Sitting in my cigar room all dark. Well, it's not very dark at all, but we're getting there. Yeah. Soon I've got I ordered the sound pads, and I'm gonna build. So this is something I want to work on. Is I'm gonna build like this sound booth. It's gonna have like a roof and a floor, and it's gonna have insulation, and it's gonna look pretty chill in here. And then I'm gonna get like the custom BNN backdrop.
Yeah, you need a backdrop, man.
Yeah, I like the magazines, but we're gonna upgrade it a little bit.
Yeah, maybe you could do one wall backdrop, one wall magazines or something.
Yeah, because I still have
something.
I still have a stack. You can't really see them, but like I still have a stack of old Flex. Okay. Like I have like all of 2000 and 2001 right there. So I still got plenty more.
I got nothing. I gotta get on something back here.
Yeah. Once I make mine, I'll send you one.
All right, cool.
We'll do Ascensions, and then we'll do BNN. We'll do like the checkered.
Yeah, I like that for sure.
Yeah, that'll be good. You guys want to plug your sponsors real quick? I think we just got over the 2-hour mark.
Yeah.
Let's see. Phil, HD.
Yes, HD Muscle, 9 Line Apparel.
9 Line. How'd you get affiliated with 9 Line?
Me?
Yeah. I'm just familiar with the brand.
My wife is like very creative. She's big on freedom, and she's big on giving back to the vets and everything. It's not easy though. It's definitely not easy to get to work with them. I mean, you have to put in an application, and they pick and choose who they want to work with. So you have to be a really good affiliate, like how you carry yourself, how you conduct yourself. That's really key to them, which is understandable, because that's what I look for dealing with anybody anyway. So
right. Okay. And then your personal training.
Structured Fitness Inc. Yep.
Good off-season look for you.
And that was back in 2000 and 2008. That was like little young Phil there. I was still jacked though, but that was I wasn't even competing. Actually, no, that was before 2008. I wasn't even competing at the time. I just stayed big.
Nice.
Mm.
I look big as fuck there.
I was like, looking like a football shot. NFL linebacker.
Yep. Someone needs to Photoshop a jersey on there.
So Structured Fitness is your coaching company, correct?
Yeah, it's my fitness company. I coach as well on there. That's Patty in the top. But I also trained. I was a Golden Glove boxer back in my day, national level wrestler, and I did Chinese martial arts. So I was very athletic in sports as a kid. I think I did through the shot put in track as well.
Nice. So do you have a lot of different clients then through those different sports and everything?
Yeah, I have. I mean, I go from 10 to at the oldest I think I have is 81.
Wow.
I don't have a cutoff. And then I have athletes that I train for basketball and football, depending on what they're trying to achieve. I had a kid that is getting drafted for at least 6 colleges for hockey. He was so skinny, so I had to put some size on him. But yeah, it's a variety. Like I don't discriminate, man. I take all and any, long as your drive or your personality clicks with me and your determination. Because my big thing is dedication, determination equals a great transformation. That's my wording. So long as they come in and give me their all and do what they have to do, man, I take on all clients. I mean, I'm at a place right now, though, I can pick and choose who I want to work with because I'm so booked.
You have your other coaches too, right?
Huh?
You have your other coaches too. So if you may not be able to take someone on, you kind of assign.
No, I'm it for coaching.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I'm it. I mean, if some of my guys have been competing for a while, if they want to do it on their own and ask me for some tips and make their own money, you know what I mean? I don't push the coaching too much, like I said, because I have a lot of clients I work with in person.
Right.
And then I'm a health coach online as well. So I'm very active. So I can't get too crazy because I'm still competing in bodybuilding. Once I'm done with bodybuilding, I'll coach more. I get more into coaching and because I have more time on my hands. But right now, as long as I'm competing, I got to keep that little flexibility.
Yeah, even mentally, dude. Even mentally, like I don't want to be getting 50 emails a day. You know, like if I'm just trying to chill, sometimes, like if I'm like, hey, I got to rest tonight, like
I like my job. I don't miss meals, so I schedule even my time. So I eat in the morning and I eat again at 11. So I make sure I don't schedule nobody at 15 minutes to eat. So that's why I like working for myself because I got my training slot time for myself and I don't miss no meals and I have my time. I come home in the afternoon and take a nap before I go back for the second shift. So, all right, plug your things, guys.
It's all you, Tonio.
Yeah, Tonio goes second.
With Celsius, Titan, Aslan, and Half Wicked now. Oh, Jet North is also one.
Yeah.
Nice. Good for you.
So who's Bet Labs? I think you added that one since last time I saw it.
Yeah, so he's it's like another Aslan.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay. And then Center Stage.
Yeah, that's Joey out of what's that, Dragons there in Vegas. He's a opposing coach.
Oh heck yeah, okay. Very nice.
Man,
it's funny because actually
Tonio's out there. He's just slinging it.
He's got like 10 sponsors.
That's why they wanted to
do love
Texas.
To everybody, bro.
Equal love.
Oh man. I'll get there. And Team Courtney is your coach?
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice. What's Titan Nutrition?
I've actually seen them before. So yeah.
They're out of Missouri. Actually, it's bigger than what I thought it was, actually.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I used to live in Missouri. I heard about them a couple times. I think is Charles Griffin with them? I can't remember. I saw somebody else was with them. I can't remember.
It was I think his Instagram's name was like African Spartan or something like that. He was with them for a while.
Okay. There's another big name I thought I saw. Can't think of it right now.
Robert Whitman. He's a classic physique. And he got his Olympia qualification last year, so he's qualified.
Oh, good.
In Soleil's for a women's figure.
Okay.
who's also qualified for Olympia.
I don't know. I can't think of the person's name. I'm sure you know all the open guys on the team.
That might be the only one.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, I thought there was another guy. I'll have to look. I'll look in the tags. Okay. And Tyler?
I got Believe supplements and Jed North.
Yep.
Code Tyler, 15% off.
Heck yeah.
Just in case, you know.
I love I liked the Believe supplements because I like their color palette. Really nice, soft, friendly looking designs.
The thing I like about Believe, man, is I'm more into health supplements than I am into bodybuilding supplements.
Yeah.
So they have such a perfect variety of everything. Like I use all of their health supplements. Like they have like vitamin D, magnesium, zinc. They have all greens, which I love. It tastes so good. Glutamine. So they have more health supplements that I would use versus like a normal supplement company who has more bodybuilding style supplements, which I also use as well, but I don't use them as religiously. And honestly, I could probably go without most of them if I really, really, really needed to.
Okay.
Whereas the health supplements, I would rather not go without. But also, like I always think of things from like kind of like my parents' perspective, meaning like the average person. So I'm thinking like, dude, not a lot of average people care about buying EAAs or BCAs or Pump Addict or you know a lot of these products. So I thought it was even hormonal balance. So I thought it was really important to make sure that I worked with a company that I could obviously get behind, but a company that could provide the average person with supplements as well. So then I can, because I push a lot of like health information on Instagram and trying to make
Yeah, you do.
You know what I mean? So I needed something that aligned with my values basically, and I really didn't find another. No offense to any other company, because they all have like their own unique mission and everything, and you know what I mean. Like I just felt like this was one of the best fits for me at this time right now. So
cool. Heck yeah.
And then Jed North has been helping. I'm wearing Jed North right now, but they've been helping me for years, dude. Like for no reason, they used to just message me and be like, "Hey man, can we send you some free stuff?" I'm like,
that's so cool.
Great. Like I'm not going to turn down free Jed North, which I already buy. I pay for it anyway. So man, they've just been always helping me out, dude, for no reason. And with the show going the way it went, it was just like the perfect time to sign. And then it was cool, man. I got to meet Hassan too. So
that's cool too.
So I really appreciate both those companies right now.
Yeah. I think every time we talk about them, I'm like, oh man, I really need to order some stuff.
Code Tyler, 15% off.
There you go. All right. And then for me, guys, if you guys want to check out Galaxy Labs, you can. Really cool, small company out of Wisconsin. They've been helping me out with supplements for many years now. So, but that's it. All three of you, appreciate you guys coming on. Tonio, always fashionably late, so we do appreciate you, man.
Why he doesn't start until I get here?
There you go. Yeah, he was extra late this time, so he's like, shirt's got to come off.
Shirt's off, man.
To make up for it.
All right. Anything else, guys? Anything else going on this week?
Oh man, the only thing going on is about to go eat this freaking rice, cream of rice. So about to go.
Yeah,
same.
I'm gonna finish my egg whites.
I got my pre-workout meal coming up, so
there you go.
Chest. It's been a pleasure meeting you guys, though.
Yeah, man. Same here.
It was well.
Josh, I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate even just being able to network with you guys. So yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Stay good. Stay safe.
Yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. We'll get you guys back on soon.
All right, brother.
Be good.
All right,
guys. Take care. Bye.